started blaming white people for all of the current problems. We're just intolerant.
Bro, she's right. She's right. And people are actually comfortable to talk about this. Like, I don't know if you remember, or if you've been paying attention to what modern culture was like. Do you remember George Floyd? Oh, George Floyd. The Floyding happened, and everyone kissed the feet. Kissed the feet of BLM. They really did. And you know what? You know what BLM did? They burnt fucking cities to the ground, baby. They did, realistically, and they scammed a lot of people, actually. Now, interestingly enough, this is why. This is from what I understand, American family that went to Jamaica on vacation, and the Jamaicans were fucking furious that they were polluting their sea.
Oh, Hal, now that you did the job, I guess you ain't that damn bad after all.
There is something wrong here, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I cannot quite put my finger on it. Anyway, realistically, there's a lot to talk about here, and it's a big...
You better take this job. Well, don't just stand there with your thumb up your ass. Go do the goddamn job.
IBC made a video of fatigue. Let's dive in, baby. Let's see what we got here. Let's do a bit of a deep dive on the current conduct of the world, bro. But you don't understand. From good for Mr. Beast Wells in Africa to Mr. Beast should stop feeding black people. They might move to our country. And that is a really scary culture shift. But like a really diabolical fucking culture shift. It really is. Oh my god.
Start this video. This is such a topic that needs to be approached with such care. So people... There's a thing...
I mean, you know my response. You know my response anytime someone calls me a racist, right? Because I know I'm not a racist, so I don't care. Like, when people call me things, I really don't care. But this is my response. When someone says, Nux, you're racist. Do you know the response? So? And they're immediately destroyed. Immediately destroyed. It's over. Like, what about how you label me? I am a good man that tries his best to do what's right for me, my family, and my people, okay? Alright? My fellow human, okay? So I don't care how you label me. Your labels mean nothing. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. And that shit is debauchery. It is. It's fucking evil. Oh my god. Insufferable to need to deal with this thing. For real, for real. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Oh my god.
Out there called black fatigue. This is where American people are getting kind of sick and tired of ghetto people. And coincidentally, these ghetto people just happen to have black skin.
It's no coincidence, guys. There's no racism. Zero racism. The reason, ultimately, why I decided to make this video, it was the Mr. Beast thing, for sure, watching the pushback on that, because I thought that was insanity. Like, it was wild to see that happen. I like, actually understand their perspective, which is so sad. It's so sad that we got here. It really is. And also the youths thing. You have people beating the shit out of white people, and they just let them out on $400 bail because the judge is woke. What the fuck? What kind of a society circus clown show are we running? Even Trump called them youths. Okay? People are beginning to notice that pattern recognition is not necessary.
Black fatigue does not affect every single black person. It's not like people are going around and seeing a black person and being like, oh, these black people, I can't stand them. No, there's a reason, and there's a decently good, I'm not...
It's so funny, because people are so scared to get that label racist. You have to realize that labels don't matter, okay? Nothing matters. For whatever reason, okay, and I can give you a million of them. For whatever reason, society is coddling crimes committed by black people more than by white people, because they don't want to look racist. And white people had enough of this two-tier system. And black people are basically incentivized to do more crimes because they don't get punished as severely. It is literally bad on both sides. It is degrading black culture, and it is making white people fatigued. It really is. It absolutely is. And it's a problem. It's a problem on both sides, and it shouldn't be tolerated. So yeah, get married, stick with your spouse, don't get rid of them. Stick with your spouse, have kids, and slap the shit out of them if they fucking destroy a grocery store.
Just roll some clips and you'll probably understand what I'm talking about.
like smoke detector chirps in every single one of those clips. Like I'm not even trying, bro. Listen to that. Smoke detector chirp. Did you hear it?
Obviously, it turns into.
Bro. Like, dude, this is like, why is this happening?
I'm assuming that after you've seen these clips, you now understand exactly what I'm talking
Yep.
about. And I just want to make it perfectly clear that this isn't every single black person.
I know that people are gonna say that is what I'm saying anyway, because they like to take me out of context and make me look bad, and I don't really care at this point. People do it so often. Like the amount of slander I get is absolutely diabolical, just because I speak the truth. But listen, if everyone's coming after you, you're probably doing something right. Yeah, true. But if you want some reality, slapped upon you, this is absolutely unacceptable behavior. And these people need to fucking grow up and work on themselves and work on their families, because this shit will only make white people hate them more.
I have some black friends, and I know a lot of great black people.
Oh, true, I have a black friend, so therefore I am also not racist. Should have said that in the Fuck, I forgot. I have a black friend, therefore, every time I say the N-word, I say it with glee.
But I feel like even if you're a black
Nuclear, that's my N-word, nuclear.
person seeing this, instead of claiming I'm racist or calling me racist, you should be getting upset at these people for making.
True, why be upset at a white person when you can get upset at black people instead? Oh, bang them. I'll say it again. I think that the racism in every
Get back in your corner.
that very Yes, sir. I think more people hate Jews because Jeffrey Epstein is a Jew than because Nick Fuentes wants to kill the Jews. I really believe that. I 100% believe that. I do. Because that dude was a fucking pedophile overlord and literally, fuck that guy. Absolutely. And I think this is every single time. I think Diddy made more people hate black people than your average nationalist. Right? That dude is just using people like Diddy to get you to hate black people. Literally, every time. And it's like that every single time. It really is.
You look back. Every race has bad apples, but the thing is, the bad apples usually get denounced in these groups of people.
100%. Literally 100%. I don't know a single Jewish guy that'll say, well, that Jeffrey Epstein guy, maybe he wasn't a bad rap. I don't know a single person that says it. Not even one. Not one. Okay? But for some reason, Carmelo Anthony raised $1 million.
Like Arabs denounce terrorists.
Well, you know, some of them. Sorry, that was a joke.
White people denounce, those trailer trash cousins.
That is true.
For some reason, when it comes to black people, some of them make up excuses as to why the others should be able to rob stores. And it's excuses that
He's fucking cooking. He's right. Do you not, like, dude, this is literally... Alright, so this is, a bunch of kids. I showed this in a previous video, alright? Here's a bunch of kids trying to rob a CVS.
As a parent?
Yeah, as a parent. That would never do. That was a great thing. And then the kids made a post later to say, don't think we were stealing because we're black. We were stealing because everyone steals.
Fully dressed. We got more money than you, bitch. She make more money than you. She got her own house. She pay her own bills. She got more shit than you. You broke. You ain't getting no more shit. And that was not food inside the bag. Yo, she had shit for it.
In this world, yeah, that's what's how y'all like.
Everybody steal, man.
Everybody steal! Everybody steal! And they posted it with their mom. This is a problem. This is a fucking problem. Abso-fucking-lutely. This is a problem. Like, that's animal behavior. Okay? What the fuck does that mean? Everybody steals. Last I checked, one of the 10 commandments was thou shalt not steal. In a country that is founded off Christian ethics, you should be doing better. What are we doing, guys?
the people that are robbing the stores didn't even have in their mind while they're robbing the stores. People are like, oh, no, they're robbing the stores because either they're starving or, due to systematic oppression of...
Yeah,
but then
exactly.
they're robbing the stores are like, man, yeah, I need to get me that Louis Vuitton bag. I need to get me that iPhone. I don't want to pay for that.
Because black fatigue
is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman.
You don't know. Recently, a lot of people have been
All right.
black fatigue.
Well, black people are going through black fatigue too.
Fatigue is real.
Is that his example? Does he use a black guy as his example of white people saying black fatigue? That's diabolical.
That's a black man complaining about black fatigue.
He was talking about white people going through black fatigue.
Everybody is tired of black people.
And I believe that a lot of people think that that word wasn't created until recently, but no, that word was already created. In fact, it was coined by a black woman.
Based? We are respecting a black woman by using her term. Yeah, babe, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! Yeah, exactly. This is a form of respect, okay?
We have the book. You should read it. But let's get something straight. Black fatigue is not white people being tired of black people complaining about racism in America.
Yeah, that's not really what it actually is at all.
And the N-word meant something completely different too, like 200 years ago. Like, buddy, you do not want to be making that argument as a black person.
Black fatigue is a physical and psychological
Wait, was there? No, there's no way. Stop, chat. Stop, chat. You have to stop doing this.
I actually have the book. You should read it. But let's get something straight. Black fatigue is not white people being tired of black people
The fucking smoke detector chirp. I can't. Dude, stop, bro. Stop one more time. I'm sorry.
people being tired of black people.
Oh my god, dude! Guys, stop! No! I don't want it. They're doing it! They're doing it, bro!
Complaining about racism here in America.
Yeah, and the N-word meant something completely different too, 200 years ago. Like, buddy, you do not want to be making that argument as a black person.
Black fatigue is the physical control of being black here in America.
Yeah, and the N-word isn't synonymous to dude, homie, or friend. Sorry, people just reclaimed the term black fatigue.
Bro, it's like you're not allowed to use the word in a way that it wasn't used 12 years ago. Also, gay does not mean happy anymore. It means you want to suck someone else's schlongus. Okay? Like, guys, stop, bro.
I'm sorry to tell you, man.
The literal quote, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," literally came from a black woman. And people making
Imagine being triggered about this, bro.
videos are talking about white people going through black fatigue or trying to stop black people from talking about the problems that black people face.
Which is themselves? What?
That's crazy. I mean, like, dude, I think that obviously black people face a lot of problems the same way white people face a lot of problems. In fact, I think everyone faces problems. And I think everyone's problems are definitely related to their race and their people and their ethnic group, their society, their state, their city. Everyone's race and everyone's situation is different. And therefore, everyone's problems are different. But that's what we call life, unfortunately. No one's stopping you from talking about it. But if you beat the shit out of a white guy, a woke judge shouldn't be letting you out of jail. All right? But a white guy does a crime, and it's immediately in every newspaper as white guy does. A black guy does a crime, and in every newspaper it says youths do a crime. Like, guys, what are we doing? We're tired of this.
Is the #1 cause of black death in Chicago.
I've seen this clip. This clip is fucking diabolical.
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks? Where's your
He's so mad. It's true, unfortunately, bro.
substantial evidence?
It's right there, dude.
Okay, so someone in my chat just said, a black woman in my chat just said, "We moved from our neighborhood to a white neighborhood to escape ninjas, and the ninjas followed us, and the new neighborhood became full of ninjas, and we had to move again." Coming from a black woman in my chat, guys. That is fucking crazy. Oh my god, dude, stop.
It's the real-time vetted
Where
crime.
does it say it?
Black 15% of the population that commit 55% of the murders.
Where can you show me that?
Man,
Dude, these are the fucking stats. We all know the memes, okay? 13% of the wizards cast 50% of the black magic. Like, bro, we know, bro. We know the stats, okay?
70% were African American.
Oh no! And in real time, oh my god.
As white people are not tired of the ghetto ratchet stuff. I mean, if you watch movies like Get Out or even Sinners, it proves that white people want to be black.
There's no way this guy, as his analogy, he picked 2 movies made by black people about how white people want to be black, and this is and this is gonna be his proof that white people want to be black. Dude, this is fucking crazy. In my opinion, there are advantages and disadvantages in every culture. I'll be real. I black people. That's just a fact. They're fucking awesome. They really are. I think they're the best actors in movies. I think they're the funniest comedians. That's just my personal opinion. All right, obviously, every group has their advantages and disadvantages. They're also fucking insanely good at people. I don't understand. I don't understand. God knows that. Okay, I don't know.
Two movies that were both written by black people.
Exactly. He picked 2 movies made by black people that prove that this happened.
How white people want to be black as proof as to why white people want to be black. What? But I do agree with them to some extent. I think it's cringe as hell when a white person is listening to rap music about dealing drugs and shooting people on the way.
I'll be real, I think that that's cringe for everyone. You think that's beneficial for culture? Like, in general? Do you think it's helpful for a 12-year-old kid to be listening to rap music talking about how great it is to become, to kill people and to shoot people and to get into gunfights in the hood and to do drugs and to bang bitches? Like, you really think that this is good for any 13-year-old kid or whatever? But realistically, black 13-year-old kids are listening to this shit. If you are idolizing people that are doing drugs and shooting people and banging bitches, then what does that say about you? That is what you idolize. Like, come on, dude. You think that's not going to encourage crime?
To their 9-to-5 job. You guys need to stop that because it's giving guys like this an actual compelling argument. Like, Becky, while you're driving to your Starbucks barista job next to the gated neighborhood, why are you listening to YG My Nigga?
Oh my god. What am I even looking at?
People
What the schizo fuck was that?
are so infatuated with black people that there's actually a real word for that, and it's called negrophilia.
Actually, it's called being a wigger. As in some...
Wait, he thinks... Alright, you are literally reverse racist here, okay? Which is just racist all over again. I hate when people do this. It's like, how dare you say that black people want to be white people? Actually, white people want to be black people. What the fuck are we doing? This is the same thing.
Somebody who makes wigs.
It basically means the fetishizing of black people. We see this through music, sports, even art. Going through black fatigue.
Sports, playing basketball isn't a black trait. Like, just because you play sports and are good at sports doesn't mean like that makes you black or makes you want to be black. But I do agree with the art and music. There is a lot of musicians that have copied black artists and you got away with it. But what is that actually?
That is true, but that doesn't mean that as a whole white people want to be black. In my opinion, you should be proud of who you are and where you came from. Look, I'm gonna get all philosophical on yo asses, but I think God made you the way He wanted you to be. All right, and He wanted you to be the best version of yourself. All right, and I think there's beauty in all of that shit. I really do. Now, but what are we talking about here?
What do we have to do with black fatigue? Like, I feel like this guy doesn't actually know what black fatigue is. Like, Eminem and Elvis Presley doesn't mean black people get to go around, you know, making gangs, dealing drugs, and stealing shit. And just because some white people enjoy the artistic value of black culture doesn't mean that they value involves that stuff. Like, you can't be like, oh man, like, I enjoy rap music, so I can't criticize these black people robbing a Nike outlet.
Damn.
How does that make sense? Like, what does black culture have to do with crime statistics and black people being
No, but like, it's such a nothing argument, and I hate when people do this all the time. It's like, okay, so I like Indian food, but also I don't exactly celebrate the Indian poop flinging festivals, you know? Like, like, this is not an argument. Like, I like Chinese food, but I don't eat dog. All right, like, we could do this every single fucking time, okay? Every group will have its advantages and its disadvantages and its beauty and its art, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, dude.
When do I become a threat? Well, if we consult the
Bringing out the charge! Bro, don't you know that statistics are racist? Oh my god, we're in 2025, bro! Oh my god!
Parts here looks about age 5 to 14. Out of 100,000 black people aged 5 to 14, about 5 of them are murderers.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of people calling me racist for saying that there's an Indian poop flinging festival, but allow me to introduce you to Gora Hava, a festival or ritual in India of splashing cow dung on each other. Okay? Alright, listen, man. I'm not here to disrespect anyone else's cultures, but it is a thing that I personally do not find super awesome, personally. Anyway, back to the racist math.
Believe that? Now, a lot of people just try to make it like, oh man, these people are born this way. You know, this skin color is just like evil, like the symbiote from Spider-Man or something. The moment they turn black, they just become these evil people. And it's like, no, the skin color isn't the one that's causing them to do this. It's cultural factors. They didn't have proper parents. Dads either.
Bro, what is that? Dude looks like he walked out of Doom Eternal, bro.
In jail or just gone. Mothers on drugs. Something like that, and they don't have proper parents teaching them, hey, this is right and this is wrong. So then their child ends up like this.
Bro, I was born to stay in the hood.
Are you gonna stay in the hood for the rest of your life?
I might.
How you gonna make money?
The government gonna take care of me. Well, I got
Oh my god, dude. And you wonder why they're all voting for socialists, bro. How do you get raised like this? Dude, this is fucking crazy, dude. Unreal. Bro, dude, stop! Stop! This is fucking sad. It really is.
to do is have 8 kids and food. Do you know how much food stamps I can?
You know how many food stamps I can get if I have 8 kids? Like, dude, what are we talking about? Like, you know those 8 kids? They're literally born as props to get taxpayers to pay for their shit. Like, those kids will be raised some, okay? That is a massive cultural problem. It really is.
You get with 8 kids. The hood is the land of opportunity.
You better make
I
it
get
quick.
shocked.
Sun's getting real low. Look quick, buy quicker,
Funny, bro.
piss
You got
off
this little nigga
fastest.
NBA YoungBoy maxing, and you think that's funny? Like,
The child didn't pay for that. I didn't
I mean, I don't think he was joking, to be honest. I don't think he was kidding.
charge him for it.
What you talking about?
The thing in his hand, I didn't charge him. No, you gotta.
The baby is literally stealing. and saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
you want a guarantee, huh?
She's like,
Well,
"Yeah, baby."
maybe you should try Shamway.
Like, I would never see this ever. I would never ever, like, what are we doing? Grab it out of my hand and say, are you trying to steal? I would, this would never happen to me. Never.
Come back. He gotta come back here and pay for it, or you gotta come back. No, you gotta pay for it. No, yeah, no. Give me, no.
ma'am, your line was sorry about
I'm in shock. I'm in shock that this clip exists, to be honest.
that, sir. Son,
Like, and you don't think this would make the person working in that store fatigued? You don't think someone that sees this won't get fatigue of specific cultural decisions? Like, this is fucking abnormal. And honestly, this is absolutely gonna turn this kid into a criminal. Like, come on, dude. What do you expect anything better for this kid? This poor kid that's growing up like this? Absolutely not. He's gonna be in jail. Like, come on. Like, do you understand the cycle? Bro.
please give the man his merchandise back.
No, give me that. Yeah, give me that. I'm gonna call the police right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Give me that. Give me now.
Good time to teach your child not to steal.
Literally.
Instead, you taught your child the exact opposite, and then when your child goes to jail, oh my God, no, you're such a sweet child. Please, no, he ain't done nothing wrong.
I mean, it's not just that one clip either. It's a gigantic issue where, like, for example, there are more people arrested in black neighborhoods than white neighborhoods. And the argument you often hear is that the black neighborhoods are over patrolled by police because there's a lot more. So the argument made is, well, that means that the police are racist. Why are they over? Because of the over patrolling, or maybe it's crimes. Maybe, perhaps. Like, it's unreal. It is unreal.
Yeah, they're gonna end up like this, grabbing people by the throat. Because this is what they learn at home. This is either what they learn at home, or this is what they learn at in the streets.
And again, this is not being racist at all, in my opinion. I think this is a wake-up call to people. Wake up, okay? Fix your life. Literally fix your life. This is not, in my opinion, what Western values are. Okay? These are not American values. And you will be given the best life of any country on the planet if you follow the rules and you try your best. Literally. Like, this is fucking insane.
And they go to the streets because they have nothing going on at home. I've just never seen a white, Mexican, Asian, Native American, screaming at him.
You gotta stop and you gotta feed him.
Are they opening ice cream in the middle of a store before paying for it? Oh my god! Like, what is happening? This is what we call stealing. They should go to jail, bro. Like, dude, the Bible was very clear, okay? And so were the founding fathers. Alright? This shit's unacceptable.
Because one thing about me, when I'm hungry, you gonna make me eat, you gotta eat.
I don't give a fuck if this guy is just
What?
TikTok rage baiting by actually paying for the food and making it look like he just grabbed it off the shelves. Your child's brain is fake. You're
Okay, dude, this kid has 2 ice cream cones. Literally. Like, 2 ice cream cones. 2 of them. How? Literally, what are we doing? This is crazy. You're literally teaching your kids to become criminals. And you wonder why they get arrested at higher rates. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Statistics on the rise.
children are starting to understand what money is, trading money for food. They just think, oh, I'm just getting food, and this area is the place where I need to eat. So they're just gonna grow up to grab shit off the shelves and eat anyways, even if you faked it. You're gonna have to go put effort into your child, into having them unlearn this kind of behavior. And it's not all black people that defend their people's actions. Some of them actually.
Obviously not. Obviously not. The issue is that's how this message always gets construed. It's like you criticize someone and you're automatically racist. It really is. And dude, this is insane. All right, like why don't people work on themselves? Like, I was raised, alright? So I'm grateful to my parents for this. I was raised to work on myself, to try to become a better person, try to become the best person I could possibly be, you know? Like, it's so sad.
You're starting to turn on them.
I carry around a Glock. You think it's for white people? No. Okay. I carry that bitch around for my own kind. You wanna know why? Because a white guy gonna look at a 6-foot, fucking 200+ pound black dude with dreads and think, huh, he got some nice shoes on. Let me go get that up off of him.
He's right, but unfortunately his own people demoralize him for this and call him something like an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
I bet the CIA is looking at the black community destroy themselves like, damn, they're doing better than we did. Oh my god, they're waking up. This one's just a skip, but the attitude of the message is still the same, that he's tired of black people acting dangerous.
Yeah, alright, Josh, wait till we get outside. We get outside, I'm gonna knock you. I called the cops. The white ones.
I'm so glad that black people are coming out and taking this issue in their own community.
Oh my god!
If you try pointing this out as a non-black person, you're just automatically labeled a racist and forgotten. Like your argument just isn't even tune it out.
But completely true. This is literally completely true. Everything he's saying is 100% the truth and nothing but the truth. Absolutely.
So help you God.
They get mad, they're happy, bro. Dude, it's absolutely insane how 20 years of welfare destroyed black society. Like, to a level that I don't know if racism destroyed black society, or slavery destroyed black society as badly. Like, it's insane. It is insane. Like, unreal.
The black person talks about it, it's actually listened to.
Bro, the mother has her son stealing school clothes with her.
Holy shit, this is the first time I've actually seen somebody rob a Burlington Coat factory with a gun. You gotta do what you gotta do for your kids.
So get a job and pay for it.
So you steal brand new clothes from Burlington Coat factory. Why are you not at Goodwill?
If you were not in jail, why are you not in jail for this? And you know the thing is, if someone gets away with it, then everyone else does it. Because that's the problem with not enforcing laws. Not enforcing laws incentivizes more people to break them, right? Like, you know, you don't deport illegal immigrants, more people will invade your country illegally, all right? People don't get punished for stealing from your stores. More people will be able to pay free shoes, right? They're literally filming it. They're like proud, they're flexing.
From a Goodwill, I could understand that somewhat. Oh yeah, for the kids. I don't know what this is, but this doesn't look like it's for
not that it matters, bro.
Also, shout out to the other black lady trying to prevent her from stealing. She probably understands that this indirectly makes her look bad when one of her kind is stealing from the store and is trying to stop that. Either that or she just knows that stealing is inherently wrong and it isn't supporting, like, yeah, queen, you go get your shit.
Yeah, stealing is actually not a good thing. It's actually indefensible, unless unless your literal life dude, literally, not exaggerating. That not steal is in the top 10. Okay, this is basic ethics and morals. You are raising your kids to become satanic creatures. Okay, you are like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah.
Excuse me, do you have a boyfriend? How?
No!
Just immediately gets violent. Like, it was obviously joking. This is not normal behavior. Like,
No, that's just the immediate like snap and go to violence is insane. Insanity. Holy shit. Like, do you see how crazy that is? The immediately cut to violence? Oh my lord. It's crazy, bro. That doesn't make sense. Bro, imagine diving into a Class B immediately. Like, how is that a normal reaction? And I know that we're saying that it's bad, but she should go to jail. Like, you can't just assault people in public. And the fact that she thought she could means she got away with it.
Immediately, her first response is violence. And you see her calculating.
Retarded. Listen up. I don't think she calculated violence. I think she didn't get it was an insult. And it took her about a minute to process the insult. And then immediately jump to violence. That's my theory. You can let me know in the comment section below.
It's a joke, bro. It's a joke.
Bro, dude.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Bro, she is still chasing him.
Oh my god.
It's a joke.
What is this guy?
What? The random dude just ow, bro.
Hey, doing?
What the fuck is that guy?
You've got to be shitting me, bro.
Like, you're just running past somebody and he tries to make you flinch. Like, that is so annoying, bro. Like, does the cameraman know this guy, or is this just some random guy that just raised his arm against somebody?
It's a joke. I asked her the stupid shit. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Some companies are actually starting to stand up to the black fatigue, like Carnival Cruise. Carnival
That
Cruise
neighbor is guilty.
is a cruise ship that somehow got overran by ghetto people. Anyways, this Carnival had changed their rules, and a lot of black people felt like these rule changes were targeting them, and they probably were.
Rules are not racist. Masks are not racist. You're just a shitty person, okay? This is unreal. Saying we have drug enforcement and black people saying that you're targeting us, that is what we call a self-fucking report, okay?
Bluetooth speaker ban. Yes may no longer play their own music in public areas. Carnival says the rules for comfort, but many may see racial bias in enforcement.
Like, dude, these people have to stop. Like, these people have to stop. You know, dude, this is crazy. I can't believe this is real. Everyone in chat is saying it. I'm sorry. I was gonna skip it, but everyone in chat's calling it out. Listen closely.
With these new rules and regulations,
Fucking smoke detector chirp. This is fucking diabolical, pal. Oh my god, dude, this is fucking crazy. Holy shit. Is it possible that this guy's actually editing in? Okay, I'm sorry. We're looking it up. Carnival Cruise. All right, Carnival Cruise TikTok. I have to find the original one, bro. I have to. Oh my god. There are thousands of videos complaining about this. How ridiculous, bro. Dude, if saying no loud music is racist, then you're the fucking racist. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I'm actually in shock. I'm just scrolling literally through raging people complaining that they're racist. Dude, I cannot find this one specifically. Yep, never mind. Can't find it. I don't think it's real. I really think it's real. I'll be honest. I really think it's real. Alright, we're asking Grok. Who is this? Come on, Grok. Alright, anyway, whatever. Never mind. Can't find it. Moving on. I think it's real.
A Bluetooth speaker ban. Guests may no longer play their own music in public areas. Carnival says the rules for comfort, but many may see racial bias in enforcement. Mom, can we leave the cruise now? The blacks took out the enforcement.
That had to be added in. That one had to, like, dude, that had to be added in. You are fucking with me. You are absolutely fucking with me now, okay? This shit's edited. He adds smoke chirps to the clip. I'm sorry, man. I
Genre options. Though not officially banned, hip-hop and rap appear to be removed from many ships' playlists. DJ also reportedly declined guest requests. And it seems like the normal black people actually saw this kind of coming.
Sick of y'all. And before y'all get on here talking about, oh, they racist, they hate black people. No, they hate niggas. That's what they hate. I hate them too.
Was built to be the fun ship, not a rowdy ship, not the lit turn up crew, the club.
The fightings, like the behaviors, like I don't understand it, because when you saying I'm thinking about the ghetto-ness, the rowdy people.
And then of course there was the people who acted like this was an attack on their culture, which in all fairness it technically is, because your culture fucking sucks.
Oh my god!
They do not have to worry about me.
Okay, I'm fucking adding the chirping. I'm not, like, there's no fucking way. Okay? You gotta stop. You gotta stop, bro. There's no way.
Yeah, honey, you're not fooling anybody with the soft piano music in the background. Like, you can't have soft piano music in the background and then show this.
Back up, my man. Back up. It's going down.
I cannot believe he adds it. I'm like losing.
Let me show y'all a video I seen from somebody on Carnival right now.
Wow, so now that ghetto black people no longer board the boat, you are finally able to see the one white guy that was misbehaving. Congratulations.
Oh my god. Shocker, it turns out white people misbehave too. There's just, for some reason, a difference here. Alright, we gotta see if there's a chirp.
Carnival does not have to worry about me. They do not have to worry about me. We got the message loud and clear. We are not the same topic anymore. So y'all.
Nice try, bro. That is diabolical.
Congratulations. Why do these people do this? Like, instead of taking accountability, yes, black people, black ghetto people were making fights on the boat. They're instead like, oh, you might have seen millions of black people acting up, but
this is crazy. This is fucking horrible, dude. Oh my god, dude. Like, can you imagine going on a cruise and this shit just is happening? It's unreal.
Have you seen this one video of a white person doing the same thing? And at least he wasn't resisting arrest and went out with his dignity. White people will call Carnival Cruise ghetto, but then call this a good time. Wow. Everybody just enjoying each other and having a good time. No, no baboon noise. Okay, I can't. But like literally, like, there's a time and place for everything. People singing along to a song at a festival. Like, what is wrong with that? Compare that to this. So we have black people at an airport or some kind of cruise.
No, stop. You cannot be doing this in an airport. Like, what are we fucking doing?
Or something like that with a Bluetooth speaker, and they're literally forming a crowd dancing where people are trying to walk. Like, not only are they just dancing in the middle of where everybody's trying to walk, they're like moving around while doing the dance. Like, they can't just stand still and dance, but no, they have to move around too and get in everybody's way. It reminds me of that one video where Bottom G was like dancing in the front of that guy trying to walk on the stairs. Here's them.
Yeah, Andrew Tate really was cooking that time. He was a bit fruity on that one. No, but no, this is crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy that this is a thing. Like, you should know better. You absolutely should. Like, dude, can you not at least see why people do this and be like, yeah, this is savage. Like, this is not a culture that I grew up in. Like, could you see why people are frustrated with this shit? Well, people might be fatigued even perhaps. And also, realistically, there's different rules. There's different fools. There really is.
Breaking out in the song at a restaurant in Paris. Imagine saving up for a family vacation and eating at a nice Paris cuisine, and then having to listen to this while you're trying to enjoy your meal. I guess this is the consequence.
What about literally respect for your fellow people? Like, why not literally actually having respect for the people around you? Like, listen, man, it's Paris, so whatever. Whoever's going to Paris is looking for a bad time anyway. There's way too many French people there. But like, what are we doing?
Of niggas in Paris. Bro. We got a twerking at a graduation ceremony. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. This looks like they're at some kind of karaoke where, you know, singing happens. But goddamn, are they being so loud? Like, I thought karaoke was supposed to be for the one person whose turn it was.
Bro, this doesn't look like karaoke. This just looks like a hotel lobby where they brought a microphone. Not trying to be rude here, but that's kind of what it looks like.
Not the entire group.
Imagine being loud and fat, okay? Like, pick What? Okay, pick a struggle, bro.
And then compare that to white people at a festival. This reminds me of that one TikTok where black people were pretending to be.
You don't understand. You don't understand, man. Literally, growing up, like, the first fucking rule in the rule book was be respectful of your fellow, right? I'm pretty sure it's even more than that. Hold up. Let me find it. Like, all right. So I could give you a million Bible verses for it. All right. So Leviticus 19:32. All right. How's that one? Stand up in the presence of the age. Show respect for elderly people and revere your God. I am the Lord. Right? You see, you grow up with morals like this, and you're like, yeah, you know, it's an old person. I'll stand up. I'll give him my seat on the subway. I'll show respect to him. You know what? Not because of anything other than he's my fellow guy. He's an old dude. You know, like stuff like that. Right? There's another Leviticus quote. Find it. 19:18. That's another one. 19:18. All right. Leviticus 19:18. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among your people. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. All right. Like, dude, this is basics. Like, this is basic ethics. Actual basic ethics. You know, love your neighbor as yourself. Like, really, dude. But I don't know, man. It's like I grew up on this. You know. So for me, it's so like if I'm loud in public, my mom would yell at me. It's like, you're bothering other people. What are you doing? You know? And it's mind-blowing. And if you're gonna act like an animal, then you're gonna raise your kid to be like an animal. You really are. And that shit's only gonna devolve over time. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
White on a hiking trip, and all they were doing was being overly polite. Also, have you ever noticed that some of these people have some kind of entitlement attitude?
What? Entitlement? That's all of socialism is entitlement. If you expect the government to pay for your shit, you're entitled. That should be a last resort. It really should. Right, but people don't look at it that way. Like, we saw that clip earlier of that one guy that's like, oh, I'm just gonna have 8 kids and the government's gonna pay for everything. Absolutely not. That is a last resort. What you should do is work your ass off to make something of yourself and become rich. Okay, do that instead. Okay, come on, dude.
He just walked out in front of traffic and then starts arguing with the driver.
No!
And I'm glad the
Bro, this is like a beached whale, dude. Beached whale does not want to move out of the way.
Driver didn't hit her, not for her sake, but the damage she would have done to the car if the driver would have been abysmal.
Oh my
and
god!
Check this, she goes up to the
I
car.
hope the car is okay.
And kicks it. I would have been like, bitch, if you don't get your 300-pound ass off my car, like, get this. The average female white-tailed deer weighs 100 pounds.
Damn.
If you hit this woman, you would have done way more damage.
Bro, there's a Snorlax blocking the road. You gotta get the pokey flute and everything, dude.
If you hit a deer. POV, a random family tries to bully you out of your cabana that you paid for.
Wait, what? He heads the fucking chirp everywhere.
This lady doesn't even know what the word random means. Like, she had to be explained a word that I learned when I was in the 1st grade. Isn't this exactly what that Carmelo Anthony guy did? Where he went to some track meets?
Yeah, he sat in someone else's chair and the guy told him to move and then he literally stabbed him in the heart and killed him. And then he opened the gun and made $500,000. People supported him murdering a white kid. You don't think that radicalizes people? You don't think that will make people fatigued for all this?
Tent went in there when they was told to leave. He just stabbed somebody, allegedly. I'm so waiting
Just deer hunting right now.
No, allegedly. He killed him. He murdered him. And he's going to jail.
Out.
What? Open the door! Alright, put that down. Okay. You gotta put it over there.
She's literally robbing from you, bro. She's literally robbing from you. She hits you with the "you don't have the right to touch me." Well, listen. You obviously never read Exodus 22:2. Obviously you never read 22:2. Alright, listen, man. Exodus 22:2. If a thief is caught breaking in at night and is struck a fatal blow, the defender is not guilty of bloodshed. Listen, man, we obviously grew up in different societies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Fucking whoop her ass. No right to steal from you. Your property, that is yours, dude. Sorry, dude. Scripture Castle Doctrine. Hell yeah, dude. Based God.
She really threatened to call the police.
She threatened to call the police on someone trying to stop her from robbing him. Like, this is levels of retarded that normal people couldn't fathom.
Well, she's stealing. Like, the lack of accountability, the lack of self-awareness, and the audacity. Where do these people get their confidence from?
From their parents, or parent, rather, because their dad's probably not around. They probably get this audacity from their parent. Their mom doesn't actually give a shit.
Like, it's all fun and games for them, like they're laughing. I think I even heard the security guard laughing with them. And funny enough, a friend of mine actually recently sent me an Instagram reel of a group of kids doing the exact same shit.
Yeah, I just showed this. Yep.
Yes, please call your mother so she can come here and have it easier for the police to arrest her for neglecting you.
Yeah, and that didn't happen, obviously. See, again, these people need to get punished for it. Absolutely. There's a reason why there's laws. To be enforced. It's not to just let this shit happen. And honestly, enforcing these laws and jailing a few people that do this, it will help society as a whole. All you're doing is allowing people to continue raising more people to become like this and fuck up their lives and make shit worse for everyone. Like, this is so sad, dude.
I don't even know what they said. Like, was that actually English?
Huh?
And then when the store closes down and moves to a better neighborhood, they're gonna say it's racist, right? Wow, what a nice man. It looks like he's feeding the homeless and the impoverished. How does this ever go wrong? Wow, he even said, what a polite fellow.
Yeah.
There you go. Would you like a drink?
Huh?
See, guys, that's what we deal with around here. Sometimes people are super disrespectful.
The fact that this guy wasn't even...
What the fuck? Like, literally, why?
surprised and just was kind of expecting it. It's honestly really sad, dude.
Oh my god, dude, bro just walked in and yoinked one! Like, how? How are you like this?
No, guys, actually, it's okay. He's actually a black Israelite, and the backpack was promised to him 3,000 years ago.
If I'm walking down the street,
There's so many of those clips. That's crazy, dude. I saw this hilarious, let me see if I can find this clip. Dude, I love that meme. That meme is so good. I'm finding it. Hold up. Yeah, I found it. It's fucking fire, dude. I love this clip. Alright, so this dude goes up to this Hasidic Jewish guy to explain to him how black people are the real Jews, right? So, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
This might touch our world, but black people are real Jews. Okay? So go, black people, start wearing pieces.
And he's like, yo, start wearing the garb, dude! Start wearing the garb! Yeah, bro, do it! Yes! Go study the Bible! You're so right, King! Good, that's amazing! It's amazing! Follow the Bible! What the hell? What am I watching?
Following the Bible.
That is crazy! Oh my god, dude. Dude, Brooklyn is truly a fascinating area. But no, I will never understand Brooklyn. He's rage baiting, but it's just not working.
I see a black man with a white woman.
What?
There's a
chirp.
weakness in him. Ooh.
What?
Something
There's a black man with a white woman. There's a weakness in him. Dude, could you imagine if a white guy would say this? White nationalist, racist, supremacist. Okay? If a white guy says, if a white guy has a black girlfriend, they're weak, whatever. They would be looked at, they would be ostracized from society.
No, actually, she's right. It takes a very, very strong man to deal with this in a relationship. Don't forget this one, too.
Hey, hold on real quick. What's your switch talking about?
No, you're right. It takes a very that almost 24/7 in your daily life if you're gonna have a partner like this. While I was editing this video, these kids from earlier, their older sister
Yep, they made a response video.
actually saw them, it went viral, and they made a new video addressing the people that were talking about them in the comments.
Okay, so please.
Looks like your mom is doing the very
Also, you didn't even learn English.
since your wearing weeks ago, and you also have and you were out at night with no supervision. So obviously nobody was watching your asses.
And that was not food inside the bag that was sent to us.
And if it was, yeah, that's
It
what
wasn't food, it was toys, guys. Good news, guys. They were robbing the store for toys. Future scientists and engineers, ladies and gentlemen.
y'all like the fuck.
No, she actually said that perfectly. That was actually really articulate of her. Yeah, and if it was, yeah, no, you're fuck. I couldn't have said it better. Man,
What
this is
was
a first
that?
world country.
Just shoulder slammed her? Dude, what the fuck? Like, literally for no reason. Because of white oppression, obviously. I mean, her great-great-grandparents were literally slaves. Like, to be fair. Like, in her defense, absolutely. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we dealing with this shit? Like,
This is a first world country. You're supposed to say, excuse me, and if you bump into somebody, you say sorry. Even Unc over here is flabbergasted. Like, what's her problem? I just want to end this video saying that these are just examples that I've
True, this is all anecdotal until you realize that it's also suspiciously, literally statistic.
Across the internet, and it's really not that hard to come across this kind of stuff. This isn't even everything. This isn't everything that I wanted to show, but...
No, there's millions of clips. You don't understand how many you have to scroll through to find this. I really think there are cultural problems, and again, I have nothing against black people, obviously. I even have a black friend or two. You see that? Anti-racist right here. That's right. Absolutely. But realistically, I want you guys to fix your shit. I want you guys to find God. I want you guys to stop giving excuses to people to hate black people. And I want youths to stop attacking people in public, alright? What the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing? Alright? And then, the fucking woke media is gonna play defense and run defense for you guys also. Like, it is insufferable. And the fatigue is absolutely real. Because if you are gonna be babied by society, then you're gonna act like babies sometimes, you know?
Fortunately, I can't be showing fights, shootings, hit and run with cars on YouTube. Oh, and smoking crack. I can't do that either. Back in a Popeyes. I was where a guy was doing that, and I was like, nah, let's not add that one. Let's not risk it.
Bro's walking like he has a WNBA dildo up his ass.
I'm not racist. I love black people. I don't like the ghetto people.
What are you doing up there?
To be that a lot of the ghetto people are black. But before we end the video, I want to run some clips that didn't really fit the video, but I still wanted to include them.
Y'all gotta work with me. I got one broke thumb, so I really can't.
But my got a car.
You just told 121 people my business.
Okay, she doesn't have a car. That's no.
Okay, so she doesn't have a car. The kid says you don't have a car, and she gets furious.
Problem. I see cars nowadays as a luxury that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have cars.
Not
right?
everybody's gonna have a car, but.
Wait, that was real? Wait, no. Wait, that was real? There's no way. Stop. Wait, he didn't add that in.
Not everybody's gonna have a car, but man, that smoke detector.
No.
I'll be honest with you guys. I was editing smoke detectors throughout this entire video. This one I didn't do.
Oh my god. That is cinema. That is cinema.
I'm serious.
Mystery alien spacecraft could launch its back on Earth in November, says the study. Here it is, our scientists in the field.
Oh my god, dude.
The hood gets LED street lights for the first time.
This is crazy. This is like National Geographic. The hood gets LEDs. What is that? What is that? There was just
Fake. That is so disgusting.
Listen, I have a family saw a patient, a youth, and this youth went deaf in one ear. Originally, my relative, the doctor, thought that it was earwax and removed a full that curled up and died in the youth's ear, and the youth could hear from both ears. Anyway, moving on.
Can't food stamps, so what? I eat all kinds of snacks, wine, shit.
A full copper that curled up and died in the youth's ear, and then the youth could hear both ears. Anyway, moving on.
I get all kind of snacks, wine, chili, or whatever. Paying no bills.
Y'all mad because I'm a fucking beep. Y'all mad because I'm a mom of 7 kids with $3K in food stamps and housing. These people, like actual parasites. Like, this is parasitic behavior. Why don't you contribute to society? Why don't you do something? This is fucking horrible. Like, you're raising your kids. You are raising your kids to do this. You are literally raising your children to become parasites. This is trash shit. Like, were you not for this environment? Like, America's the best country on the planet. What are we doing?
Government assistance. My son back there with his snack.
That's a grown-ass man, ma'am. What
My son over there shows like a 47-year-old kid.
is his excuse? Get a job, nigga.
Oh my god. That was a good video. I'm gonna link it in the description, obviously. But realistically, I really appreciate all you guys being here. I hope you realize that this very spirited, even horrifying video that I did was actually done with only the best of intentions, alright? I'm looking out here for my fellow humans with this one, alright? All humans of all colors, shapes, and sizes.
God damn it.
Unless they're too big, alright? Humans up to a certain size, but all colors. That's what I have to say. Make something of yourself. Contribute. Do something. Work. Get a job. Work hard. Follow the laws. Read the Bible. God damn. Find God. Find God. Do not expect people to give you everything and do something of yourself. And the media call them youths, okay? The media, the woke judges, you are not helping. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed. If you are all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Stream live on king.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay good, man.
Henry VIII might have been known as a bad husband with a hot temper who straight-beheaded a couple of his wives. He was also a surprisingly talented musician and was an animal lover. Henry was a complicated man. Today, we're going to talk about what you know about Henry VIII. But before we dive head first, be sure to subscribe to Weird History. Now, second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII kept a tight circle of royal servants, but none were closer to the man than his groom of the stool, whose duties included taking care of all those royal duties. Servants who wished to be the physically closest to Henry coveted this highly sought-after position, granted to only 4 people in Henry's entire reign. Not only did they help dress and undress the king before or after his royal play business, they also controlled access to the monarch and even some of his finances. They even managed to have power over a stamp of the king's signature, a powerful financial tool. Though an athletic and svelte man in his earlier CrossFit days, this beefy boy really let himself go. So much, weighing an estimated 400 pounds, he could no longer ride on a horse without the aid of a crane. A crane was used to hoist Henry up and drop him into his war horse's saddle. Some scholars believe he required the use of an early version of a wheelchair to get around. It's reported his waist had ballooned to over 50 inches, or the same number of horses who were probably immediately crushed upon drawing the short straw of Henry's warhorse. For longer than comfortable for most kings, Henry didn't have a legitimate male heir, and in his panic for one, came up with a disturbing backup plan. Though he had no son with his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, he had an illegitimate son by his mistress, Elizabeth Bessie Blount, or a real Jon Snow Game of Thrones situation. Henry Fitzroy, or old-timey for son of the king, was named Duke of Richmond and Somerset. Henry Fitzroy was there to ensure the country didn't descend into war again over Henry VIII's lack of producing a son with his wife. But Henry VIII wanted to resolve this whole thing by making the bastard Fitzroy the next monarch with the boy's half-sister, Mary, as his wife. This gross sister-brother marriage got the green light from the Pope, who I guess had a say in matters like these, and failed to come up with the correct conclusion of, nah, that's gross. Fortunately for mankind, Fitzroy married a different, non-related woman, possibly rushing into marriage to avoid marrying Fitzroy. Henry Fitzroy 17, leaving the door open for Henry's legitimate kids to take the throne and his sister free and clear to marry not her brother. Henry VIII had a famous temper, which is a kind way to say he was a man who enjoyed a good murder. Close friends. Wonder, what was up with that? Well, what was up with that was probably mental illness that resulted in the bloody slaughter of a bunch of people. Some theories suggested it was the pleasant combination of syphilis and brain injuries that might have led to his being straight crazy. But with hindsight, it could have been psychiatric conditions inherited from his family. His paternal great-grandmother, Catherine of Valois, Princess of France, was the daughter of famous mentally ill King Charles VI. Her family's mental health conditions were probably passed down through the generations to multiple British monarchs, from Henry VIII to George III and so forth. So don't blame Henry. He was born this way. Considering Henry VIII was a famously tyrannical man, it might surprise you to learn he was a huge animal lover, especially horses. Yes, Henry was a big horse boy, and our delicate fancy man proved to be surprisingly nimble on the horse, galloping knights in his kingdom. Kings, they really are just like us. His key contribution was dressage, for those unfamiliar, is the ancient sport of horse.
We're doing all right.
The goal of the sport appears to be show complete control and dominance over the horse's movement.
My morning's been very irritating.
Specializing in capriole, or giant leaps, making his poor horsies jump super high in the air as if it were flying. Of course, the horse wasn't flying, with Henry's aforementioned weight issues. We hate to keep dunking on the guy, but a poet Henry was not. When courting his eventual second wife, Anne Boleyn, Henry penned her a bunch of love letters, playing it very uncool and coming across as very thirsty at his anguish over her coyness. This correspondence, which still exists, is just a touch on the sappy side. My mistress and friend, Henry regretted. Heart put ourselves in your hands, begging you to have them suitors for your good favor. Blech, barf. In a separate, less safe for work letter, Henry writes, wishing myself, especially an evening, in my sweetheart's arms, whose duckies I trust shortly to kiss. If you were thinking that duckies was a reference to Anne's boobs, you'd be correct. Henry basically drunk texted Anne, asking, you up? Hard to believe it'd be him lopping off her head with correspondence as romantic as this. Henry VIII wasn't a complete monster. In a way, he was a real Bernie Sanders of his time, ushering in a revolution in the healthcare industry of England and bringing the country into the Renaissance. As the founder of the Royal College of Physicians, he passed 7 different laws to regulate the practice of medicine and licensing of physicians, laws that didn't have to be changed for 300 years, so Henry knew what he was doing. In 1540, Henry went further, pushing for one of the earliest laws to regulate
of course,
to assure they weren't gouging their clientele. Under his reign, London saw vast improvements of the sewer system due to an increase of supervision, thanks to his chancellor and, yes, future murder victim, Sir Thomas More, who was crowned Commissioner of the Sewer. As Commissioner of Sewer, More aided in the overall health of the country by making the water what it barely was before. Drinkable. Way to get ahead in this world, Sir Thomas. If you should find yourself on a walk around London's famous Hyde or St. James Park, be sure to whisper a thank you to Henry VIII as you take in the lush greenery. During his reign, the king owned thousands of acres of green space for his personal use while chilling at his country estate. With this land, Henry went riding and even enjoyed the occasional outdoor picnic. Today, Giggles and Giggles still exist. Thanks to Henry, at St. James, Hyde, Regent's, and Green Parks, all former places Henry owned as part of his empire of pastoral spots. He could be seen from spring to early fall, trotting around the country to check on his realm, but really just to hunt and play on his estates. As mentioned earlier, Henry's lineage could be described as dicey at best. The only illegitimate son he recognized was Henry Fitzroy, who died at age 17 without issue or having to marry his sister. All 3 of his legitimate children, Edward VI, Mary I, and Elizabeth I, would go on.
The error of life. This is not an issue.
As a whole, though, become a little bit more negative.
No intro today. Liberal women are in trouble. So Billie Eilish just went to Ireland, the place where she hails from. She comes from there, laddies. And she goes out there and she decides to say the most innocuous, nothing burger statement of all time that no one should ever get pushback for. I'm laying the groundwork. This video is going to be absolutely diabolical and warning you in advance. It's one of the most cancelable ones out there. I will be showing so much empathy for women getting harassed online, probably. Lock in, boys and girls. You are not ready.
These are my friends Ava and Jamie right here. This venue is very different from all the venues I've been to this tour. Usually there's like crowd all over there and I'm in the center of the room, and so it's very different and fun to have you all on my face.
It's so different and fun.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool.
Yo, she's Irish.
But it's really cool to come somewhere and like everyone looks exactly like you.
It's pretty cool to go to Ireland and see her, relatives and people in her ethnic group and see all the people that look exactly like her. It's so nice to see people that look like me. Wow, what a novel concept, all right? I'm just hold it in chat, all right? It's gonna be beautiful.
You're all just as tasty as me. Makes me feel so. And yeah, I don't know. Also, like 1,000 of my relatives are in the crowd right now. I'm pretty sure. Thank you for having me here. I love it here.
Do not come.
You are also beautiful, and I see so many
You are beautiful. Also, you look like me. Is this secret coded white nationalism, supremacy, racism? Oh my God. Now, everyone likes to hear their political opinions from an 18-year-old retard, don't you? Well, welcome back to today's show where I am going to blow this shit cannon wide open. So immediately it gets canceled, literally without a stop. Everyone here is white like me, no darkies, 280,000 likes, 22 million views. Obviously, everyone is saying now she's a racist. This is a massive, massive fucking deal. Everyone's talking about this. We're going to be doing a deeper dive into how leftists actually hate attractive women. That is going to be part of this. But hold on. Hang on. Wait up, hang on. No darkies. There's no chance this is a real drama. It is. She's a very famous singer. She went out there and she actually said something about how she's proud of her heritage. And her heritage is actually white. You see, the thing is, unless you're, if you're a white person, you're not allowed to be proud of your heritage. You're only allowed to be proud of your heritage if your heritage comes from a third world country. These are the rules. I don't make them. Someone else made them. I don't make them. But if your heritage comes from, a first world country, then you're not allowed to be proud of your heritage. This is the facts on the ground. I didn't make the rules. Someone else did. Definitely subscribe to the rules. But now I am going to tell you something absolutely diabolical. All right, white people aren't allowed heritage or culture. No, white people aren't allowed heritage or culture. Also, white people are not native to anywhere. Suspiciously, they are colonists everywhere and not native to anywhere, unlike immigrants who are considered places that they are illegally? Question mark? I don't know. Anyway, it's not the point. All right, we're going to keep diving deeper and deeper into this, but now I am going
Good.
to tell
I'd
you
shake your
something.
hand,
In this
but
video,
I bet you got dysentery the way you smell.
This is a literal image of me feeling 1% of your average woman's pain on a daily basis. This is going to be me destroying Billie Eilish. Fuck this bitch.
Look, blockhead, I'll give you some work. Well, good luck. By the looks of it, you're gonna need, unless you're paying, you're leaving. Be careful out there. You wouldn't want to get hurt.
The ground says Billie Eilish trying your best to virtue signal in 2020. What about 2021? Where Billie Eilish...
You got money this time, or you just here to piss me off? Just get the fuck out of here.
Floyd himself, the man, the myth, the legend. She decided to go out there. Stop killing black people, she was saying in protest. Please, I am woke. She decided to go out. Unite, everyone! And don't worry, because 2023 is when she declared that she has joined the LGBTQ+ community. Congratulations, Billie Eilish. You're so brave for being
Stick your tongue out at me.
attracted to men and then joining the fucking LGBT community. where you are still attracted to men. Now you're bisexual, which is like the ultimate nothing burger situation of all time. I love when people do this. They're like, I am also part of a minority group. Now I'm not going to change anything about my life. My life is going to be exactly the same. My life is going to look like your average straight person, but I'm now part of the minority group because I'm also bisexual secretly. All right, so this was in 2023. And we're 2024. Dude, I just shared a new Instagram story following Donald Trump's win. It's a war on women. Women war. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you the endless woke bullshit of Billie Eilish. I want to tell you something very, very true. All the hate that Billie Eilish is getting for this concert, saying that I like seeing people that are just like me, is all her fault. You voted for the community that is attacking you. And of course she's going on the pro-Hamas rallies. She's in every fucking woke bullshit rally and protest of all time. I have zero remorse or mercy for you. None. Zero. This is your fault. You made this bed. You lie in it. I don't care. So today we are going to be talking about women going out there and preaching and virtue signaling and voting in societies that are destroying them. All right? For whatever reason, she is getting cooked by the society that she is ushering in. All right? So I will not feel remorse when the people she empowers come for her for absolute bullshit. So while absolutely she shouldn't be canceled for being proud of her heritage and culture, that shit's retarded, she is the person that is canceling herself, and I have no mercy for it, and you shouldn't either. I'm sorry. You will be held to higher and higher ethical standards until you are eventually swallowed by the mob who try to please. Literally, fuck yourself. I do not care. So Asmongold reacted to this. His reaction, yeah, people told me to look at it, so
after Billie Eilish?
Context. During her tour in Ireland, Billie Eilish said this.
Billie Eilish said what? She likes being in a place where everybody looks like her. But she's from America. The majority of the people here look. Oh!
This is what we mean. Bro, why are you like this? You don't look like her. Again, nothing wrong with that, but what's wrong with being proud of your heritage? What is going on? People in their biases simply dumping out. What type of racist shit is that? When black people explain that they want to be in black spaces, that is a safety issue. When she's saying that is a... And listen, I'm trying to look up what's bad here. But the #1 cause of death in America for black people is other black people. It is not a safety issue. Right? Double standard alert. When black people want to be around black people, that's actually awesome and based. When white people want to be around white people, we should literally kill them in the street. Do you understand the difference?
Is a nationality, not a race. Unless you're buying into old school eugenics, that's a white supremacist world.
What are you talking about? You're happy to see people who look like you.
White people have no races, no ethnicities, no culture, not native to anywhere. You guys are amazing.
You know how hard to get on my fucking nerves? Again. Once that I grew up with?
Bro, can you imagine me saying that no blacks get on my nerves? My blacks are not getting on my nerves. Other blacks, like, could you imagine if I would say something like that? Could you imagine that?
Hey, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, my way. Like, again, it's really simple to tell if it's racist. You reverse the terminology. If I say my blacks or whatever, I don't think people would know to relate to everybody.
I ain't never seen Britney Spears talk about, I'm so happy to be performing to a crowd of blonde women. You ain't never heard her say no shit like that.
The thing is that these people love talking about how great, you know, their ancestors, etc. But if anybody ever takes pride in their ancestry that's white, somehow this is racist and you're being a Nazi. It's this massive fucking double standard stuff on white people. And that's why they would have a person who is not
You're just the socially accepted kind of racist. I have no mercy, because you have to realize Billie Eilish was propping this shit up. This is why I am literally so fucking happy about this timeline. I really am. Because it's time for the women to start waking up too. It's time for the women to wake the fuck up. Because are Republicans. Alright? It's time for women to realize that these people that are sabotaging you, these woke fucks that you are voting for, that you are putting in power, that you are... Like, dude, you know who's putting trans women in women's sports? Men! Women are voting for it! Women are voting for biological men to beat the shit out of women! That we are...
I haven't really been working on the base. I've been trying to get weapons, or at least get my skills up high enough to make decent weapons. I mean, tomorrow is the blood moon, and I ain't got shit. I got a level 1 pistol.
More of you before it takes control and it starts moving itself and replacing people like Sydney Sweeney with
Hogman! Hogman! Nobody wants to... Holy schmiblets, sir! That is a hippopotamus! Hog rider!
see. Except for other husbands. People that look like that. And even they don't...
It's a joke if she doesn't have a husband. She's gonna die alone and sad and depressed. Probably at the age of 50 due to heart failure or something. I'm not trying to be rude here, but I'm just saying all the groups of people that hate you, all of them. But the majority triggers die young. Suicide rates. You could literally outrun your obesity. It is the one disease you could outrun, and you decide instead to commit massive amounts of trauma to that.
I don't want to see it. That's why they use filters on themselves whenever they go on dating apps. They're not
truly fascinating. So, I am really glad we're doing this deep dive today. Personally, I think that this deep dive is something that the world needed for a very long time. I am willing to say the things that the retards don't want to. Today we're going to be looking at attractive white women have completely broken the left. They have. Between Billie Eilish and Sydney Sweeney, the left doesn't know what to do because they are losing the woke women. The woke women are starting to lead in this self-sabotage women versus women violence competitions, trying their absolute fucking best to destroy each other and ruin each other's lives. I'll be real. I'll be honest. This is truly the apex of society. We are only cooking harder, moving forward. I think it's beautiful. I think it's glorious. Lots of people aren't willing to acknowledge the facts on the ground. The reality is not something that people voting in the people, and you're going to face the consequences of your actions. It's literally all your fault.
To see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
Bring overt racism back. It's what we need in society. Y'all are too comfortable sitting in your glass houses hating on random. We gotta bring it back. Because if everyone's racist, no one is. That's not how it works. But I think we need to do it. I'm just saying.
Trying to calm myself, but that would.
I cannot believe this man is offended.
Billie Eilish, are you okay? Why the you say shit like that? For one, you live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you.
You are the majority in America, but not for long. Bring in more migrants. Interesting, fascinating. Interesting how this works. Interesting. It sounds like a hostile takeover of sorts. I don't know, man. I think these people all suck.
As this goes on, the more that I lack the vocabulary to describe how much I hate it.
Dude, Sydney Watson's so goated. Oh my god, bro. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't know this, but I think the big reason why so many people are voting right, that so many men are on the right right now, is because we tried. We fucking tried. We tried to be good to you. We tried to not say words that you like. We tried to call you the program that you did like. We tried to feed you as much food as you wanted. You just kept dying. We tried so fucking hard for everything. Bad. We tried to follow your rules and not offend and not step on toes, and you just had more rules. You still tried to lambaste us. You still tried to blame us for random bullshit that had nothing to do with us. Okay? I look like your average white guy. So you I my ancestors. My grandfather's the Holocaust. And it's not anybody, but all of a sudden, blammo, secretly racist. Like, it's truly
Jesus Christ. I could see 3 arrows sticking out of his head.
Pictures of when I had headgear.
That was a joke. I was not serious.
This kind of headgear. I'm not kidding. There will be custom shows that are only available for the tour. There's obviously going to be key if you want to buy something in person. There are VIP tickets.
Give me a wrench.
Hang out beforehand.
God
talk and
damn
chat,
it.
that kind of stuff, much more personal. There are general admission. There are meet and greet tickets. Lots of stuff going on. And right now, if you use the code Gondola,
I am not going to be ready for the blood moon.
20% off for the fun early bird people for a limited time. So I genuinely hope after my
You absolute buffoon! The left is trying so hard to make a cultural revolution. Their first wave was obviously met with yawns and groans. The second wave of hate against Sydney Sweeney was, I think, fucking manufactured outrage. The right wing made up that we're actually offended by the left wing. We actually love the ad totally. And then they tried to fucking cope. Obviously that did not work at all. Because, like, dude, this is the funniest thing ever. Apparently, Charlie Kirk and Libs of TikTok, look how funny this is. Apparently, Charlie Kirk and I concocted this Sweeney outrage, right? So these people are saying right-wing extremists like Libs of TikTok and Charlie Kirk totally concocted the Sydney Sweeney outrage. The supposed left-wing outrage at Sydney Sweeney never happened. Republicans made it up. 14,000 likes, 2.5 billion views, and Charlie Kirk's like, yes, we totally concocted it. It's not like it was on the news.
Backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
The ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American
It's on ABC News, motherfucker.
eugenics movement in its prime between like 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes.
So, yeah, all right. Anyway.
Would you be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda?
All right. Sounds like Charlie Kirk concocted it.
Me too.
Oh, she's crying.
And I don't know why. Maybe
I cannot believe Charlie Kirk made her cry.
it's just so blatant.
It's blatant, guys. No.
I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe this until we're hung out there. But then even then, I feel like they'll be like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
I don't like they
Get
are.
back to me if that happens.
American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics.
Obviously not concocted. Charlie Kirk and Libs in TikTok concocted the whole Sydney Sweeney outrage. Totally. So that's the second attempt. The third attempt is just actually canceling every attractive woman.
But the online meltdown surrounding her has continued to get worse, so, here we are. And as usual, during my travels of the internet, I came to realize that this current progressive doom spiral, so to speak, with relation to Sydney Sweeney, is not exclusive to her. Are you surprised? No, you're not. So I thought, let's take a detour from my planned video this week to talk about this, because these people are losing their minds over attractive white girls who
There's no way this triggered people too. Oh my god, this is amazing.
like dancing or just generally enjoying their lives.
No! White people are not allowed to enjoy their lives when their grandparents were literally slave owners. No! No!
And personally, I always find the negative reactions to innocuous comments and behavior so interesting and telling.
Yeah, it's literally self-reporting. It's self-reporting. It's saying that I am secretly racist. I am secretly the racist one. I don't want white people to be happy. I hate white people. I would like to keep them in this little box of emotional oppression that's existed for so long. A lot of people don't know the reality of the matter. The reality is, and I'm about to lay down the bare facts for you, Americans were held as emotionally blackmailed prisoners for decades now, all right? That's why the identity politics is so important to the left. That's why they had to run Kamala Harris on an identity politics campaign card. Because literally, it's all about the unbelievable bullshit that they are trying so hard to push down people's throats. Say that you are the bad guy if you vote for Trump, right? It's not that Trump's policies are bad. No one even talked about Trump's policies. It's just Trump is a white supremacist. He's a Nazi. He's Hitler. He's fascist. It's all about painting one side as the bad guys, trying their absolute best to emotionally blackmail people. And I'll be honest, the #1 demographic that kept this shit afloat was liberal white women. It was. It literally was. Because they needed to be on the good side. And guess what? And I'm not going to say this to be insulting to any liberal white women out there. Okay, that's not fully true. You fell for the emotional blackmail. You fell for it. You fucked our country. What do you want me to tell you, bro? You did. You fell for that shit. Hook, line, and sinker. You ate it up. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Holy. Oh, my God. Dude, welcome to modern feminization, right? All women are whores. They gobble lots of shit. They gobble propaganda and penises. It's just a thing. Listen. Now, obviously, it's not every woman. It's not every even woman. However, I'll be real here. That is the demographic that has pushed us towards the media. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't want to be rude here. You fucked us. Right? And now you're finding out. And now you're absolutely finding out. Now every attraction is automatically evil. Now an Irish girl going to Ireland and being like, oh my God, these people look like me. Is and it is literally because you fucking it's all your fault. It really is. I think that democracy has proved many things, but this is one of them. Like, bro, they're all so quick to start wanting to repeal the Second Amendment. Let's start with the 19th and work our way backward. That was a joke, obviously.
As most of you know, I really think that white rhetoric has gotten me It's absolutely culturally towards white people. But now to the point where we are seeing white women doing anything together or making...
Oh my God, a white woman? That is inherently racism. When will white women realize that they hate you? They hate you. They used you for years. They manipulated you to vote for them, but they hate you. When are you gonna realize that? I don't know. It's not easy to wake up and be strong.
Comments about their appearances, it sends some progressives into a full meltdown. So, as most of you probably have noticed by now, we are kind of seeing a bit of a resurgence of the 90s aesthetic in advertising and entertainment and
resurgence of the 90s. In other words, people are tired of this shit.
And as a result, more and more cute white girls are showing up in media and in advertising, where in a number of years we have seen diversity and
cows, hogs, walrus. That's the walruses.
I hope you're all currently visualizing Tess Holiday just
Walrus jump scare
running across the stage.
Holy!
This was advertising for like the last decade. Anyway, so it isn't terribly surprising to learn that Sydney Sweeney, who is currently a popular actress, has partnered with a bunch of brands. As such,
no shit. Everyone fucking wants to gobble that shit down.
You probably know she went viral in the last month or so when she appeared in a jeans commercial for.
Bro, even Trump was talking about it. Trump was like, dude, Trump was playing the ultimate wingman. Let me see if I can find this, because he fucking wingmaned the shit out of his grandson. All right, a Trump wingman. I have to find this, bro. This is absolutely diabolical. Dude, the all-time legendary wingman, Donald Trump. I'm happy to hear that Sydney Sweeney is registered as an official Republican. I always knew she had great talent, Regine. My son, Barron, seems to be very fond of her. You wingman. He has very good eye. All right, very good eye. Congratulations to Sydney on her massive success. Listen, I'm just gonna be real. Lisan El Gaib. True. Oh my God.
American Eagle, where she referenced her genetics, using a play on words to refer to both denim jeans and denim jeans. Each ad finished with the line, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, which was a reference to her appearance. The reaction to this was swift.
Bro, immediate disregard. That nose ring is never paired with a good take. That nose ring is never paired with a good take. I dare any of you, find me someone with one of these cow nose rings saying something intelligent. One. I dare you! At this point, if you can't tell if they're a man or a woman.
And psychotic. It was very psychotic. With women over on TikTok saying this crazy Nazi dog whistle, it's an ad for eugenics, which is, that is crazy.
Another nose ring happens every time.
She passed a Supreme statement. Of course, then we had the onslaught of articles and left-wing commentators insisting that this meltdown wasn't happening.
Dude, that's my favorite part. That is literally my favorite fucking part. All the people going absolutely dog wild over the fact that no, the right wings are just hiding this conspiracy. It's not a real thing. It's a real thing. They're trying so hard. They're coping so hard, brother.
You know these people have never been on a young person app a day in their lives. Because how is this your takeaway? But as this issue has picked up speed, people decided it was necessary to dig up Sydney Sweeney's alleged voter registration
Yeah, that's
that
bullshit.
apparently shows that she is a registered Republican. This is a lot of S noises and I am struggling.
In my opinion, finding a way to dox her and get her voting registration and find out she's a Republican, on the one hand, it means she's cooler.
It'll
Because
wipe
I'll be
that
real,
smirk off
that
your
is
face.
that is a
Doing
public-
one job
But second of
doesn't
all-
make us
but second of
pals.
all, I
Got
think
it?
That's cringe as hell. How dare you fucking dox people? I think it's absolutely disgusting. It really is. It's none of your business. Like, she did an innocuous fucking commercial. Now you're trying to ruin her life. And I'm so happy that she's not buckling down.
You better take this job. I'm not in the mood. Can't say I'm not surprised. Good luck, kid.
List of her shooting ceramics, as you do in the United States. And videos of her working on products also started circulating. And
Let's
this,
get
of course,
this
just
over
resulted
with.
in even more unhinged behavior from our friends over on Progressive Island.
Sydney Sweeney ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually
All right,
recognize and
now that we're
acknowledge
done doing
overt
business,
racism
get out of my store.
Sir, it's not harmful. Can we stop doing this shit? Can we please stop? It's not fucking harmful to anyone. No one was harmed.
What are your thoughts?
Trying to calm myself, but that what Sydney Sweeney has.
Dude, 45 minutes of moaning before talking about it.
Really? Like.
What's with the dead air?
Eugenics in that. It's dripping with it, and I'm like, no.
When you saw it, what did you think of?
Bro, it's the fucking Palestinian scarf that just absolutely sends me every single time. Like, I really don't think that I like the fact that she said she has good genes.
Son of a bitch.
Literally kills people for being Jews and no other reason whatsoever.
I mean, I thought, it was disgusting. I think it's just,
Oh my god, dude, bro. I'm sorry. Do I have to do this every time? I feel like it's God's will. I'm not acting. Trying my best, okay? But it does. I'm trying, okay? Listen.
showing what kind of country we're getting into. At the end of the day, that's what this ad is representing.
As I was collecting these clips and putting them together, I'm thinking, what is it about these people that I think is so crazy? And I think I finally got it, and I think
Because women are sabotaging other women. They claim to be feminists, and they're just out there literally trying to sabotage sabotage women as much as they possibly can because they are never going to be as attractive as those women, so they're literally trying to destroy them. To not have children and die. Is it possible? Is that possible, guys? Do you think it's possibly because these people are literally the arch nemesis of women, pandering and making believe that they support women, while they're secretly trying to ruin them? It can't be that case.
Goes for the video. Never
You're fucking bullshit.
Who paid you to care so much? And all frauds. Every single one of them. They're frauds. All of them. Absolutely. Woman smiling. Oh, we hate her. Thank you. You're all frauds. You don't actually care. You don't actually care. You're trying to push a message and an agenda because you want to take down an attractive woman. That's literally it. Yeah, you don't like white people, and you don't like attractive women. All right, you don't like white people because you make believe that you're trying to defend all the minorities. And you don't like attractive women because you are a hog, brother. So you mix these together, and it gives you a perfect reason to make believe you're crashing the fuck out. Do not care. You suck. You're gay. You're gay. You're gonna die alone. No one cares.
So it's hard for people to really understand seeing something that they don't like. Something that's actually reasonably innocuous, and then
4 arrows don't get any back.
to land on the fact that it matters enough to sign into an app, record a video of themselves basically yelling into a camera, and then on the internet.
And they do it for me. You have to think about this. Listen, all the women that crash out over stuff like this, I want to personally thank you guys. Thank you for supporting my channel and my content. This is truly a fantastic day. Definitely subscribe. Let's up those numbers.
You made an entire job out of doing that. I know, but the difference between me and those people is that I'm correct. But honestly, everything at the time it's a lot of pressure.
It has its flaws. It has
kind of like finances and debt.
And that's why this video is sponsored by Schmorgly Florgly.
Mortgages. Which is why today's video is sponsored by American Finance.
Yeah, no one saw that one coming.
For some, that's 8-8. So obviously, as I explained in my first video about this issue, which you should go and watch if you want the full context, I will link it in the description box. I don't want to have to rehash all down. This reaction has absolutely nothing to do with genes, and I'm not even really sure that it has to do with Nazism or...
I can't for the life of me figure out why unfuckable fat lesbian women are perhaps envious of attractive straight men. I personally can't figure it out. Personally, I'm trying to figure it out, and I can't. Not coming up with it. Why?
Some commentary on you.
Let's do a bit of an AI analysis. All right, we gotta do an AI analysis. We're not gonna put in names because I don't want it to have any biases or anything. But we're gonna ask the machine. Why would a 400-pound lesbian woman possibly hate an attractive white straight woman that everyone loves? I just want to know why. Barber is it wonderful concept. One angle could be envy or insecurity of the 400-pound lesbian. Effortlessly gets attention, admiration, and societal approval. Thinks she might feel like she's been denied due to her appearance, weight, or identity. She could project frustration onto her. Society by marginalizing others, and society can be rejected, especially if the lesbian woman has faced discrimination or rejection. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I can't figure it out.
That it relates to the fact that Sydney Sweeney fits a specific archetype. Young, white, attractive, blonde. The blonde is secondary. And to these white, feminist, progressive types, it signals something that they absolutely hate. Privilege, pretty privilege, skinniness, those are some of the other things they do.
Yeah, they don't actually hate those things. They hate themselves. They don't hate. I mean, they do hate white people. I don't think they hate privilege. I don't think they hate skinniness. I don't think they hate any of those things. They hate themselves, and they try their absolute best to push their insecurities on other people. They don't actually care about these things. They just have to make believe that they care about these things. They're jealous. They're fucking jealous. They're envious. And realistically, they will continue their absolute best to try to convince other women to get on their fucking train down to desertion town and destroy their fucking lives. and make believe that it's empowering. God, it's so empowering when this woman dies alone of a heart attack at the age of 50, and 14 fully grown men need to lift her 4,000-pound corpse to bring it to the incinerator because no one actually gives too much of a shit about her to go to a funeral. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be rude here or anything, but wake the fuck up, guys, okay? You have been fooled. You've all been fooled, every single one of you. All of you guys. You've been tricked, okay? Not all women. Specifically the retard, like 5,000-pound troglodyte libtards with the nose rings. You've been trolled. You've been fooled, okay? You have. They tricked you into becoming unfuckable, right? And it worked. It did. I'm sorry. It worked. And you keep voting this shit in, and they will come for you because they hate you. Oh my God, you fools! Absolute fools!
Standards, perceived exclusion, perceived inclusion of white people. The list goes on and on. So soon we had the.
They were all of them deceived.
I think so, really. Your grand mullah guru told you that it's better to be an empowered, lonely woman that's going out there to make your own sandwiches, to get your own job, and all your own man. And they are literally grooming you to live alone. Wake up and realize that if you want to actually have a good life and you want to actually succeed, you know what you should do? You know what you should do? You should go out there, make something of yourself, find a good-ass man that'll love you for who you are. And that's what you need to do. Absolutely. Yes, that's what you gotta do. Yes, true. And you could make each other sandwiches even. I would go as far as to say, okay, I will. You can divide shit. He can do the shopping, you do the cooking. I don't know, figure that shit out. Right, this isn't fucking servitude, bro. It's not servitude. Build a relationship where you love and appreciate and care for each other, and you do things for each other and you like each other. Have some kids. I don't know, man. What do I tell you? Yeah, you guys fucking suck, dog. You do. Really. You think your miserable, lonely, 4,000-pound life is that? Obviously, there are women we're talking about them, like people are talking about Sydney Sweeney.
He likes of Doja Cat, which that's the name of an artist for those who the mystery of breed. We had Doja Cat.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Well, actually, this might not be you decided to dye your hair and get a white genetic style hairdo going on over there. I'm not trying to be rude, but you like white jeans too.
Then we had Lizzo trying to write.
Yes! Dude, I don't know why I got involved with both of these cards. I really did. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. If you go to my fucking Twitter, you'll notice that I am in fact an insane person. I just wanted to ask the question, okay? I asked, hey Grok, is Doja Cat's current hair color natural, or did she modify it to resemble the hair of a different makeup? The response, Doja Cat's natural hair color is dark brown, based on Zulu and Ashkenazi Jewish heritage, and the latest TikTok is bleach blonde, a modification resembling the hair type of Northern European genetic makeup. Oh my God, she literally copied the genetic makeup. Literally copied the genetic makeup of personally cannot believe it. And I've noticed that this is an actual new strat that I have. We have Grok insult them instead of insulting them ourselves. So over here's Lizzo mimicking Sydney Sweeney's ass, and here's me. Hey Grok, did you have good genes? Yes or no? Bad genes, metabolic issues, risk of diabetes, heart disease, for health studies and courses, talent and size. Those aren't good genes. True. So I didn't say it. Grok said it. Grok got both of them. I didn't say any of these things. I was just asking questions. Okay, I was just asking. They didn't see it that way. They tried to cancel me for being racist. You know my response. Oh my God, you're racist. Those of you uninitiated and unaware of racist. The correct response is so. And it's over. And it's literally over. They are shut down. It's over. Nothing to say. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now what? And so. Right, literally, I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to be real here, but that's what it is. What it's all about. Shut down.
Making her own videos wearing jeans and playing a song on videos that references Sydney Sweeney in jeans. I'm not going to play it for you because, you know, the audio will 100% get copyright claimed, so not to...
Also, holy fuck, dude. Look at that thing.
Day, Lizzo.
Very cool that Lizzo also genetically modified her hair to resemble a different genetic group. Kind of weird how that happens.
Oh, not today. These clips they're really something, and I want to show you.
Big,
I think
big.
I'm gonna have to ask editing Sydney to put some Sydney singing with the clip so that I can. Firstly, Lizzo, I just want to say congratulations on losing weight before I mock this video because that's a pretty cool achievement for you. Yeah, I am jealous
This is
of
painful.
the weird girl on the internet. Okay, bye. Don't forget on YouTube. So what?
She still looks like the next in the bag. Not gonna lie, she's about as attractive as Chumley from Yu-Gi-Oh! Rogan without the hijab, cooking. I'll be real. Physics are in all. If she jumped into the Red Sea, she would say, "Hey Moses, eat that." Right? When she walks onto the scale, she sees her phone number. All right, not even going to lie. Not even going to lie, bro. When she rolls over, she's in a different time zone. She needs 2 passports at any given time. Okay? Oh my. You are literally dripping schlorb from your bag. Bitch, you don't got good genes.
I don't want to get it on YouTube, but
I can't believe she would appropriate white culture by eating this many donuts.
Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough of that. So one of the biggest things that I have taken from this situation is that it is, in fact, according to these people,
Have you noticed?
your genetics or means that you hate non-white people and you wish for their extermination, which is a lot of things,
Oh, that's
but
not good.
mostly. I do believe that basically every solution on the planet has experienced
All time. But yes, 100%. Every group gets hate. Every group gets the beautiful part of it. But yeah, that's called humanity.
Modern society loves to tell us that inherently have them, and they're really getting I have talked about in the past are racist and horrific and horrible towards white people.
That's necessary. I actually, for example, I am not racist, which a lot of people think is racist. I am not racist. I believe every person is God. I believe that some cultures are shittier than some other cultures. Human sacrifice. In my experience, human sacrifice is a culture. Listen, I'll be honest. I am equal opportunity. I am willing to acknowledge that some of the cultures are dog shit. I think that's not necessarily a lie. I think that's a true fact. Not racist, just honest.
Is socially accepted. People don't lose jobs for it. People don't get reprimanded really for it. It's a thing that happens that everybody accepts because it's normalized. This entire situation is no exception. And this thing is not the only example of this taking place recently. Singer Billie Eilish was under attack because of
because everyone's talking about it from the perspective of people hate white people. I am literally beyond everyone. I am platitudes ahead. You know what? It's
That's what she said that made the internet really upset. She wants to be around.
Alarm bells! Wee woo, wee woo! Someone immediately dumpster fire her, destroy her.
Yep. But these comments also made
Yes! And then the retards rear their ugly head. Nose ring alert! Wee woo!
progressive.
Yes!
No, I'm Irish,
Yeah.
so it's cool. I'm not from here, obviously, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you.
Yep, that is it. That is the clip. That's what she said that made the internet really upset. She wants to be around.
Alarm bells! Wee woo! Wee woo! Someone immediately dumpster fire her. Destroy her.
Her pale cousins. Yep. But these comments also made
Yes! And then the retards rear their ugly head. Nose ring alert! Wee woo!
progressives on TikTok absolutely
Oh my
lose
god.
their mind.
Lily Tino looking ass over here.
Similar reasons to the Sydney Sweeney situation.
I cannot believe the liberal white women are mad at her, unless they're virtue signaling. Wow. Unlike that other liberal white woman, I personally have so much love for other cultures, I don't even view myself as a white person. I don't actually even have any love for my ancestors, actually, it turns out. I hate them. You know who I do love? You know who I do love? George Floyd. That guy? Fucking awesome. He's my favorite character in this anime.
The left's
Oh, let's go! We got the fucking septum schmeptum nose rings. Love these guys. Yes! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Frick, yeah, dude. That's what it's all about. Let's go. I'm sure we're gonna hear a very level-headed good opinion over here.
Her focus on whiteness and beauty mirrors the Sydney Sweeney pile-on. And it's less about what she said and more about what she represents.
Billie Eilish, are you okay, bitch? Why the fuck would you say something like that? What?
Literally roasted. Deserved. Every fucking step of it. You voted actually this exact agenda. Fuck yes. You deserved this when this happened. Okay? Now, I actually agree we shouldn't be killing black people. That's my opinion. Hot take. I don't think we should be killing black people. But you are joining a riot protest, okay? To defend a guy who died of a fentanyl overdose, okay? Yes, he was manhandled, I think inappropriately, absolutely. But it did not warrant burning the country down, okay? You voted for this. You contributed to ushering in this age because you wanted to virtue signal. You reap what you freaking sow, bitch. Absolutely deserve. 1000%. Do not care. You deserve all the criticism. It's fucking funny as hell. And I know that everyone's defending her right now. All right, you got Asriel defending her. Sydney Watson's gonna defend her. Do not care. Absolutely. I hope this disenfranchises you. Sorry, I'm hitting you with a really hot take right now. All right, and I know that people are gonna disagree. It might take a few months, but you'll realize I'm right. You will realize I am correct.
You live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you. This is what we mean when we say white people and they biases just be jumping out. Because what type of racist shit is that?
They biases be jumping out. White people's biases be jumping out. Let me say that sentence one more time. White people's biases be jumping out. White people, like as a racial group, they biases, all right, implying that every single one of them has a bias, be jumping out. You are the racist, okay? You are a gay racist, a gracist, okay? I don't know, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Billie Eilish just had a concert
And then we got these people to come out here and make believe that they're actually. I am one of you. I am also woke. I am so woke.
Ellen, and she said on stage, "It's cool to be in a place where everybody looks like me."
Yeah. Why is that a bad thing? Everyone's allowed to love their heritage unless they're oopsie poopsie a white guy.
Let's examine that.
They're from a similar ethnic group. They do look more similar than your average group of 16 Americans. That's just a fact. Yes. Again, I don't know why this is a bad thing. Like, why are you like this? Yes. They do look more like her. Yes.
Other than maybe being white?
Oh my god, these people are so pathetic. It's unreal. Like, what are we even doing here?
Talk about her own face without this being a problem. In my opinion, you know an issue is actually stupid when you find yourself agreeing with people that you would ordinarily completely disagree with.
Oh shit.
Do you really think that Billie Eilish has had a pretty much perfect track record of being progressive since she was a child when she first became famous? Do you really think she's now like a racist white supremacist who's doing like eugenics dog whistle on stage in Ireland because she's Irish?
No, it's because she's human and she said a normal human thing to say. Alright?
Irish descent, went to Ireland and said, "Oh, everyone looks like me." Do you really think that's racism? Or are you just bored and you're feeling helpless about all of the really big, scary things that are happening in the world, and you don't feel like you can do anything about that. So you do feel like you can dogpile a young woman who was just excited to see that other people share her very Irish-looking face. It's not just generic white. She's got many majority white countries and nations, and she doesn't go around saying this every time she's there.
So you're telling me that the, traditionally attractive type woman actually is saying things that make normal sense, and she's out there literally pandering and virtue signaling and throwing her fellow female under the bus. It's probably a coincidence. It's probably a coincidence that she doesn't feel threatened by Billie Eilish, and coincidentally is kind of defending her here. It's kind of weird. No, I don't think that's probably not the case. I mean, because the previous woman was also very attractive.
While a young woman who was just excited to see that other people share her very Irish-looking face.
Weird.
It's not just generic white. She's got many.
Don't get me wrong. She's still retarded. Don't get me wrong. She's still retarded. She still thinks that the entire woke bullshit that Billie Eilish was doing the entire time was a good thing. All right? She still thinks that. To be clear, she is still voting for the enemy. I'll be real. So don't get me wrong. Do not actually think that that's the case. I just think that you fell for the emotional blackmail. Absolutely. Like, these people literally cucked. They got mega cucked by the emotional blackmail.
Majority white countries and nations, and she doesn't go around saying this every time she's there. She's specifically Irish. She was in Ireland and said, oh, everyone looks like me. It's a very specific aesthetic.
Like, why is Jamila Jamil the voice of reason here? Are you guys really that far gone?
Oh.
You know, she's probably right. These people are extremely, extremely bored, but I don't think that they're scared. I think that they get mad about stuff like this so that they can feel something.
True.
Jokes aside, once again, it's pretty clear to anybody with a functioning frontal lobe that Billie Eilish's comments refer to her heritage and her ancestry.
True, because obviously that's what it means. Asmongold says that liberal carries with a real enemy within, and they're completely and utterly controlled. They're completely emotionally controlled. I don't think that they are the mastermind. I think they are the drones. They are the drones that are emotionally manipulated into caring about things that they don't have any business caring about. But yes, true, the Karenocracy is absolutely real.
And the physical traits that come about as a result of that, namely being a pasty creature. And this is something that she has in common with other Irish people, many of whom also happen to be pasty creatures. She didn't write a manifesto about how white is right. She made a comment in an effort to connect with her audience about something that has, up until very recently...
Look, everyone on the planet could defend this, because in my opinion, she did nothing wrong. So I'm really... It's nice to see people going out to defend this, because I think that inherently we should be standing up for stuff like this. I'm just taking this one step further, that I don't care, because you specifically are the bad guy. You specifically voted for the enemy, alright? Listen, you voted for the people that are destroying you right now for this absolute dog shit. Do not care.
Been completely understood about people from this part of the world. You know, like freckles and red hair and pale skin. Likening this to white supremacy is a weak, sad attempt at making some absolutely nothing. But response to any reference to being white or European cultures.
Oh!
Comment and and the primary reason that we know that
They hit a pig in a bush.
is because in 2023, Billie Eilish made
I did the deep dive too, 100%.
the exact same comments, actually directly referred to being white, and nobody cared.
And it's, you know, it's not
Oh shit, wait, this is a clip that I saw.
because I'm Irish. Looks like me. Really white. Anyway.
And no one cared. Very interesting how no one cared. Wow, it's almost like this racism shit's really been amping up on all sides.
Yeah, so riddle me that one. Then we roll around to all of these sorority TikTok rush videos, which hopefully will make sense to Americans because I don't know what rushing is. Running around quickly on campus. The only frame of reference that I have for university in the United States is American films, like Van Wilder.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that feels
College in the United States is something different. I can explain what colleges in the United States very well. This is how I explain college to people. Alright, this is how I explained it. Alright, so college. Now, if doctor, lawyer, accountant, nice. If not, scam. This is how I explain college to people that are unaware of what college is actually about. This is how I explained it. Yep, that's what I have to say. That's right. That's basically what I have to say. Yep. If you are not in college to become a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a pharmacist, a fucking engineer, all my engineer homies out there, they're standing with me on this one. If you're not doing one of those things, all right, it's a scam. All right, any fucking social science, social subject, social shit, fucking degrees. What about psychology? Borderline scam. It's in between. Psychology is literally in between. Social work and psychology, they're the fucking crust of the pizza. All right, everything else is not edible. It's a cardboard box. All right, I am just gonna say, all right, that's how far we're going. Absolutely. Because if you are going to college for a degree in fucking lesbian tap dance theory, then this is what happens. This is the person teaching you and your fellow students lesbian tap dance theory. Now you are all pros at lesbian tap dance theory, okay? And you know what you can do with this degree? Fucking nothing. It is a useless degree. You cannot do shit with it. But you know what you could do? You could teach people lesbian tap dance theory. Absolutely. You could always teach the next generation lesbian tap dance theory. Now what could they do with it? What could these retards do with lesbian tap dance? Nothing. Nothing except teach more people lesbian tap dance theory. Okay? This is welcome. Welcome to the fucking scam of all time. This is a pyramid scheme. All the wealth goes to it's a pyramid scheme. And all of these motherfuckers are $200,000 in debt that they will never pay back. Okay? I'm telling you, bro, this shit's a scam. It is, absolutely. If your degree can't do shit, then honestly, maybe don't do it, okay? I'm telling you, bro. Go to trade school, get a degree that you could do something with? Nah, dude.
Anyway, these are absolutely not new and have been taking place for a number of years over on the TikTok app. Every time I see them on Twitter, they always have a caption that's like, "We're so back," or "The left hates this," and you know, well, that's definitely...
It's definitely cringe and rage bait, but it's true.
A little bit. There is a lot of truth to the freakouts these are causing over on TikTok. That's because the majority of these videos feature white girls, many of whom are blonde, and seem to be conventionally attractive. Which...
Can we stop saying conventionally attractive? Can we bring back just saying attractive? We can stop. It's like, yes, you're conventionally attractive because you're not a walrus. Yeah, true, yes, correct.
Which, of course, is not allowed the perpetual offender that of our Lord 2025. So the comment sections on many of the videos that I looked at here have completely turned into war zones. And the comments are about the videos. They lack diversity, not a single person of color in sight. Some comments are straight up vicious, attacking these women for their looks or their perceived privilege.
Hot take, don't care. Do not care! I feel like I'm the bad guy in this video. Normally I'm like the good guy, I'm like trying to present my arguments to being the good guy. I feel like I'm the bad guy. Don't care! All of these girls are gonna end up voting for the virtue signal. They vote for the virtue signal party. Don't care! First of all, you know what? I'm gonna be real here. I'm gonna just say it as it is. Alright? The sorority shit. Alright, on the one hand, we so bad. On the other hand, literally don't care about the hate. I don't. Sorry, I do not care. Okay? These are the retards that are fucking voting for this shit. These are the retards that are fighting tooth and nail for the woke bullshit everywhere. Alright, these are the emotionally blackmailed people. Like, I don't care. I don't care, bro. Sorry, bro. God, no. I feel like I have to do this because if poop, why shit? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying.
And what's actually really interesting about this, I think, is that a video from 2023 posted on TikTok where a young man asked women in sororities about diversity, and a lot of them seemed quite afraid to answer. He then
asked interesting.
non-white people why they build sororities, which I hope makes sense to Americans. This is a lot of weird terminology to me. And they basically said that they self-segregate.
We can't really help it if people of color or who aren't normative don't rush, but we want to create like a safe space in case they do.
That led me to my next path, which was to ask people of color why they don't join the traditional frats and sororities.
Are you planning to join a sorority?
Oh, no.
No? Why is that?
What made me very uncomfortable was how white it was. It felt like or like super.
Wait, so you didn't join because it felt like it was exclusive, even though it wouldn't exclude you. Now again, I'm not a racist myself. I am equal opportunity. Everyone gets shit. You didn't want to join, not that they told you you can't, because you felt like it was racist. That is a you problem. That is literally a you issue. I don't care enough. I am not paid enough to care. Sorry. Don't care. Your problem. It's too white. Can you imagine saying, I don't go here because it's too black? They fucking kill you. They would murder your ass. Again, this is bullshit. Again, I think the whole sorority thing is bullshit. All of it. It is. I think the whole thing is fucking stupid and dumb. I really do. I'm not gonna make believe I actually care about this stuff. I don't. But you are an operating error of life. This is not an issue.
As a whole, though, become a little bit more negative. A lot of them didn't really put efforts into diversity, equity, inclusion.
They didn't put efforts into it? Literally, you're telling me that they didn't tell you you can't join, but you didn't join because they didn't do enough effort. Skill issue. Don't care. Holy. Sorry, bro. Life operating error. Wow.
Until, like, BLM, and even so, those representatives.
Until BLM, then they started caring. Because they're all part of the fucking problem. They really are, dude.
But still not people of color.
But then, my favorite, they wanted to say how sororities are not diverse enough.
Do you understand the category of too many white people? Also, do not care. Get a life. You entitled bitch.
Pick a lane. Just pick a struggle. Anyway, so because I like to ask questions, here is my primary one about all of this. Why is it socially acceptable to dunk on the attractive white women in these situations? Sydney Sweeney, Billie Eilish, these
We all know why. Because the left is, the far left. The far left is attacked and trapped by a neo-Marxist outlook on the life. I'm about to hit you with reality bombs. They view all of the world through the lens of oppressed versus oppressor. That is how they see everything in life. Everything falls into one of those two categories. If you are an oppressor, you are the bad guy. If you are part of the oppressed, you are the good guy. And everyone is trying their absolute best to do fucking moral handstands to try their absolute best to fall into the oppressed category. If you're fat, oppressed. If you're a minority, oppressed. If you're Islamic, oppressed. If you are any form of anything, you are always the oppressed group every single time. Every time. And they will always look at you like you are the good guy. If you are white, oppressor. If you are Jewish, oppressor. If you're straight, oppressor. That's just how it works, bro. It is. So when you look at it, the world, through this fucking bullshit victimhood Olympics, neo-Marxist way of life, everything is okay. If you are going against the oppressor, alright? If you are going, a police officer, oppressor. Male in general, but not gay, oppressor. It's just how it works. Absolutely. And that's how the fucking bullshit is. Viewing Jews as oppressors is unhinged. You don't think, of course they view Jews as oppressors, because Jews are predominantly, per capita, more wealthy than, most groups in America. That's just a fact. Jews founded Hollywood, and Hollywood got super successful. So, Jews are considered in that oppressor class, because of the high representation everywhere. Stuff like that. So that's just how life is, bro. That's just how life is.
Sorority girl.
Rich, oppressor. Every time.
With zero pushback. Why does appreciating European culture, or God forbid, liking how you look as a white person and a white woman, feel like some sort of cultural crime? There's a double standard here, and it's glaring. Sydney Sweeney dropped, it wasn't criticized, it was vilified as white supremacy. Lizzo and Doja Cat jumped in, mocking it with memes and raps, and the left cheered. Billie Eilish mentions going to Ireland and looking like the folks in Ireland, canceled for white supremacy. Sorority girls, dancing videos, they're promoting white supremacy. They're not diverse. But it only had black or Hispanic and Asian people celebrating their appearances and their cultures. Would the internet have
Look, I need more iron.
Probably not. And that's really the problem. The left has become so comfortable hating on white people, and more specifically white women in this case, because they view it as punching up. White beauty standards, European heritage, all of this has been designated as privileged and oppressive, and therefore
Now that you did the job, I guess you ain't that damn bad after all.
Oppressed versus oppressed. If you're white, you're one of the oppressors, and therefore they hate
Oh,
you. So
kick-ass dude.
I want to know your opinion on it. This is very important. I'm just asking this to you. I leave this. What do you think, guys? Is beauty by
This is the one time in this entire game that I actually like you, dude.
Well, I got just the job for a simpleton like you. Better not fuck this up, or I'll cut your goddamn throat.
Nope, you gave me that workbench, dude.
What are our thoughts as a collective? What are our thoughts? What are our thoughts? I think equal attractive. Those lip plate blowjobs go crazy is what I'm trying to say.
Obviously, it doesn't help that advertising and media spaces are moving away from the ugliness that we've grown so accustomed to over the years. So seeing cute white women basically doing anything positive absolutely breaks some of these progressives. And the thing that I personally find so ironic is that many of the people loving the most amount of criticism are these liberal white women who love to do this to signal that they're one of the good ones.
True. Yes. They're virtue signaling frauds. They're emotionally blackmailed, virtue signaling fraud bitches. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I am just going to say, Billie Eilish is one of them. It's why I couldn't give two shits if the mob comes for you. Literally do not care. Sorry. I think this is good, actually. Yes. Let's disenfranchise fucking woke virtue signalers. Absolutely, let's do it. Because I'll be real. Do you know why trans politics is dying in the United States? It's because trans people couldn't have enough of just being called the pronouns they wanted. They needed to have their activists go out and infect them. Alright? And once that shit happens, it turns around and bites you in the ass. This is going to happen, I'm calling it right now, for your liberal white women. Alright? For your woke white women. Woke, white, attractive women are going to fucking get this in the ass. They will. It's going to turn and fucking destroy them. It absolutely will. This shit's gonna go too far. It always does. Every time, every group. It's just gonna happen. Sorry, bro. Fun trans fact, the origins were Jewish literature in Europe. Dude, that is not even true. Just because it was written by a Jew, that doesn't make it Jewish literature. You are literally falling into the fucking conspiracy rabbit hole, sir. Dude, there are a lot of fucked up Jews out there, true. But you know what? There's a lot of fucked up white people, and black people, and gay people. Alright, there's a lot of fucked up people in every fucking group. Alright, you got a fucked up Jew out there. It's not Jewish literature now. Oh my god. All the Germans are, equally guilty of writing Mein Kampf. Bro, like, why are we doing this? Oh my god. Bro, if you read the Talmud, for example, it is anti-trans. Alright, hate to be that guy, but the Talmud is actually anti-trans. The Talmud's getting canceled next time. In the next news episode, it's gonna be amazing.
And as you guys know by now, I find white guilt extremely embarrassing. And I also find it really embarrassing that we're at this point socially. So in the end...
Alright, hang on, I go to the bathroom.
The more that these progressives lose their minds and freak out and behave psychotically
Democrats' chances?
All right, hang on before we go.
So how do Democrats? How are they positioned right now?
Yeah, so I mean, look, the generic congressional ballot, which traditionally Democrats have done really.
The person in yellow coat is thrilled to get a gift of Mao's Little Red Book in China. 75 million dead civilians.
Chat.
Wait. Is that a Bible? The little red book? Okay. Oh my God. Some may say more important than the Bible. Some may especially over here. Yep. Especially over here. I know. Is that right? That's crazy. Wow. The red book? I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what it's about. I have no idea. Can you imagine if I did that? Like, let's say somebody gifted me a book of, like, fucking The Art of the Deal or, like, Mein Kampf, and I did that? Oh, my God. Like, that would just be... People would be talking about that on the, like, around the whole world. Can you imagine that? Oh, wow! What? And he wrote it himself? No way!
China is just another country, just like any other country. There's good, there's bad, there's criticism that you can make, which I do. And also, there's a lot of good. The people are great.
I think I'm actually going to be able to build a base that I could defend from the inside.
Amazing. Okay.
That's at least what I'm working towards.
I am.
Hopefully I could do it before tomorrow night.
I'm very fortunate to be able to actually experience it firsthand, right? But of course, all the foreign affairs people who are aware of me, are not very fond of my. They're not very fond of my China trip.
Oh. Yeah. Right. Great.
Hassan Piker slowly becoming the new Jackson Hinkle, doing Chinese propaganda for a living. Insane.
Oh.
Yeah, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that I find to be so strange. Because
why would you think this is strange?
Good evening. I've had a few drinks, but don't let that bother you. My shop, my rules. You follow, or you fuck off.
I mean, it's so obvious. We all know this. Everybody knows this. Like, what is going on here? Is that his real voice? I don't know. Like, it's just, he's drunk. Maybe he's drunk. I have no idea. Didn't IShowSpeed do the same thing? But I don't like Hassan, but why is everybody upset this time? Because IShowSpeed doesn't spend 8 hours a day talking about how horrible America is. For
No refunds. Deal's done. Now beat it, fucker.
And the country does X, Y, and Z. That's the difference, is that Speed isn't a political commentator who, like, for example, like, I'll tell you right now, I would go to China. I would go to China for fucking sure. I would go to China. And you know what? Any of that, oh yeah, well they have put people in camps and everything. Well, I already wanted to go. You don't have to convince me to go anymore, right? Like, that's the okay? You won't? Maybe not, right? I have to make sure they're not going to put me in a fucking camp, because I've said negative things about China in the past. But anyway, you should. Yeah, sure. Either way, my opinion is that, like, obviously, you know, like, I don't really give a shit about that stuff, but I feel like people will criticize even me for doing that. But, like, if you're the kind of person that puts out their opinions on things for a living, and then you go to a country that is antithetical to a lot of those opinions, you're going to see, and then talk about how great it is, then you're going to have people that are upset about it. Like, absolutely. 100%.
Like, you should be able to go to countries, okay? Like, there is no comparison between China and, like, Israel, for example. You know what I mean?
What about... wonder what is he? What do you think would have happened to Palestine if if Hamas had done that on October 7th to Chinese people? What do you think would have happened to Palestine if they had done that to China? Man. Wow.
Like nobody gives me this much grief when I go to Japan.
Duh. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is like, you know, I took a sponsor for, I'm trying to think, like, I took a sponsor from Big Tobacco, from Marlboro, and nobody got mad at me whenever I took a sponsor from, you know, Whole Foods. Like, what is it? Like, it's obvious. Like, I don't even understand how somebody can be this disconnected. I really don't understand it. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Like, nobody's like, dude.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've traveled to Japan and you love. Oh God, this guy's mentality is so stupid. There's people with almost identical profiles.
Yeah. Hassan, Nick, and Jackie, of course, right? I think he's pointing out Japan did war crimes in World War II. Well, I mean, Japan did something bad in the past. Like, so what? Every country's done something bad in the past. I mean, like, oh wow, like that's so terrible. The thing that matters is what's happening right now. I mean, going to a country and then being like, oh, but they did this one bad thing a long time ago. Well, that's stupid, right? I mean, that's not what they're doing right now. It's very clear that Japan doesn't do that anymore, etc. We nuked them. Yeah, exactly. And so that's really what the difference is. I mean, Japan and China are not the same with this at all. I mean, that's really just that simple.
Oh my God. Finnish PhD candidate? Oh my God. Why is NatSeg Twitter like this? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. And so people are pretty upset about this. And let me see if I can find China. Hassan defends China against anti-LGBTQ allegations. Oh boy. Another one.
Why China block gay dating apps? I don't think that's...
Why did they block gay dating apps?
Why China block gay dating apps? I don't think that's true. I think you saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that's true.
I think you just saw that on Twitter. Twitter. It's all Twitter. Wait, what? You can't go on Twitter and look for news. I mean, come on.
Tatter, this is exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
If you get your notes from Twitter, which by the way,
you're on Twitter right now. I think he just realized it, by the way. I think he just realized, wait a minute, this sounds kind of dumb because I'm on Twitter right now.
Like, you'll see, we're about to go to Chengdu. What's really funny about this is, like, it is hell. Like, just watch the screen, and you will see.
I think that there's probably a lot
asshole.
Like, this is what I assume, and I've heard the same thing about other countries that, you know, where, like, homosexuality is illegal, where there are people that are, like, relatively open gay, but it's more or less an open where, like, it's very different than in the United States, openly seen, celebrated, and celebrated. Whereas over there, it might be, you know, I guess, like, passively tolerated, because they know that a lot of people are like that, but they don't necessarily, you know, let anybody go and do that, right? Tolerance? Yeah, exactly, right?
Austin's been on the apps. So funny. There is, like, I mean, it's true.
It's true. Wait.
Apple removed gay dating apps on government order.
Just look at it.
Okay,
look
but
at
that's polluted.
Okay.
Finca, two of the most popular gay dating apps, totally disappeared from Apple's Chinese App Store, fanning the fears among people. Dude.
Apple, yeah. What is
Wait,
that?
Yesterday?
Yeah, 3 days ago.
Okay, I'm gonna go ask people if it's like still available on Huawei. Because guess what?
Yeah?
Everything you read is all stuff like this. Especially considering.
I feel like it's pretty simple, right? Like, it's pretty simple. What is it? Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, not everything is real to comply with government order. I mean, I don't know, guys.
Hearing that even the likes of Newsweek, for example.
Yeah.
Those apps are super fucking popular. For the record.
Uh-huh.
Those apps are super popular for the record. Just
so let me get this straight. So the apps that are the most popular were the ones that got banned? Huh. So that's kind of, isn't that crazy that like Austin goes to China and then they ban the gay apps on the same day? That's like, what are the odds of that?
Do you know?
You know, like, goddamn. So you go on vacation, find out it's raining.
And I assume, I mean, I might be wrong on, I might be totally wrong on this, but I assume they might have done it for like data related reasons, like privacy related reasons, as far as like, it's kind of like Grindr.
Please, just stop. This is, you don't have to address this. Like, you don't have to, listen, just because you went to China doesn't mean you have to justify everything that China's ever done. Like, you don't have to go out, you don't have to run PR for them. You don't have to say, oh, well, this is the reason why they actually did it, that kind of thing. And what if you could just be like, I'm not really sure, right? I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe, I have no idea. You know, I'll talk about it more when I get home. You know, like, that's what I would say. I mean, like, what do you mean?
I think Grindr was about to be sold.
Right.
Grindr was about to be sold to a Chinese company, and then they refused to. Yeah, see? Top G is correct. We tried to buy Grindr and expand it to China, but your Congress blocked the sale because they feared of being outed. Literally. Grindr was supposed to be sold to a Chinese company, I'm pretty sure. And the American government literally blocked that deal from happening because they were like, no, too many of our dudes are sucking penises on there. Too many dudes in Congress are sucking penises on there. We can't let, like, the Chinese get backdoor access into this.
Backdoor access, huh?
This is a real thing. And I assume that this is basically the reverse.
I love how, like, basically, by the way, what I find is really funny about this is that his, like, completely, like, obviously I think that, like, there might be a degree of truth to this, too, that, like, they could use the information as, like, collateral blackmail. But, like, that's the reason why Congress blocked the sale is just, like, a total inference on his part, right? He just totally made this up. And he's like, yeah, that's totally the reason. Meanwhile, you're reading an article that says this is what happened and it's because of this order. And you're like, well, you can't read it. You can't believe everything you read on the news. By the way, so this is why it actually happened. Yeah, the real reason why this happened is
the version.
Yeah, well, right? To be honest, it's BBC. No, that's another BBC. It's a different one. And BBC lies a lot. Well, I mean, I've seen this. I mean, to be fair, the article was in like 10 different places, right? So it wasn't just on the BBC. They are anti-LGBT. What the fuck is he doing? We're seeing LGBT content or effeminate men back in 2021. So no femboys and no gay boys. No gay boys, and they don't even allow femboys. They don't even want... No, bro, you can't even have a little bit. No, you can't have this at all. Nope. It's done. The thing is, right, I think that here's the truth, is that he's trying to, he does this thing, and this is what he always does, where he tries to be right, he tries to be on the right side of every single issue, and be completely consistent about things, and never be seen as wrong or hypocritical or something. So because of that, what he ends up doing is he creates these like weird like traps for himself, where it's like, oh yeah, well what about this thing that's like obviously different than like what this other thing that you said is? It's like, well that's, you know, like, and it's like some long explanation. It doesn't really make sense, right? Like this. So yeah, they even blocked Korean dramas because of how the way that Korean men act. So Korean men are just banned because they're gay in China. I'm sorry, but like that's so racist that might actually be true, and I hope it is, because that's so funny. There's no way that's true. There's no way, guys. I'm sorry. It would be really funny. They ban K-pop as well? Well, alright, I get that. I understand that. But, yeah, Korean men wear makeup. Some of them do, yeah. And, but yeah, so that's the thing, is that because he never really goes and kind of like walks anything back and is like, oh yeah, well I don't really know, or like there's never a point where I think this is a good way to say it, is that there's never a point where he doesn't want to be seen as a moral arbiter. And because of that, he positions himself always as being on the right side of everything. And whenever you position yourself as always being on the right side of everything, you create a lot of rules for yourself. But the problem is that Hassan also likes to do what he wants. Because he has these rules, he believes in this to an extent, right? But not in like a very big way. And so, obviously, you know, you're going to run into dissonance there. And I think that's what happens. You run into dissonance, you run into problems, right? He probably sees changing his mind as admitting fault as a sign of weakness. Maybe, I guess so. I don't know. But, yeah, I guess that's it. So a lot of people are pushing him on this. And you're even having people, like, haven't they famously just been arresting women for writing gay fiction? This was just a few months ago. China, every word has come back to haunt me. China cracks down on women who write gay erotica. Man, how about that? Wow, China's strongest soldier. Yeah, censoring Chinese, China censoring Chinese women for feminism is still a dirty word in China. Guys, I already wanted to go. You don't have to keep convincing me. Yeah, I already wanted to go. Like, what is this? Yeah, what's going on, guys? That's me, not you, excuse me. But yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, and no monster cuck for Japanese girl. I guess so. So basically, the Telegraph has exposed a crazy lie.
BBC claims to be the principal and impartial reporter.
They're lying. They're totally biased.
What if there was an internal dossier that revealed that wasn't the case?
I would believe it.
The Telegraph has seen a letter that reveals one of the BBC's own independent advisors repeatedly warned the broadcaster had serious and systemic problems. Weeks before the US election, BBC Panorama released a documentary called Trump, A Second Chance, and in it, they played the following clip.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell.
But Trump didn't, in fact, say this at all. The BBC spliced together two clips that took place 54 minutes apart. So let's go through it again.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
See there, between Capitol and that's the cut. Here's what Trump actually said.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and we're gonna cheer our brave senators and congressmen and women.
It's complete misinterpretation. Complete misrepresentation. Absolutely. Do you not remember watching this 3 minutes ago? Yeah, I am. It's spliced together. We watched a news report of this, but I figured I'd watch the original video, since they were the ones that put it out originally. Yeah, of course I saw it.
Different. It wasn't until nearly an hour later...
It's narrative creation? Yep, there it is. BBC executives resigning.
...that he then said the
We'll
second
see.
part of the BBC's version.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol.
It's so disgusting how they operate. It's obvious. They're parasites.
Now, it's true that a lot of people will still feel Trump's claims that in 2021 the election was stolen were entirely inappropriate. And
I think they were inappropriate.
...figure in politics.
Yeah, it was bad.
But irrespective of your personal views on Trump, the question remains, how is a national...
If they were so inappropriate and so problematic, why do you need to create fan fiction in order to create the narrative for it? So, like, I have no problem saying that, like, yeah, Trump shouldn't have said the election was stolen and it was bullshit. Like, yeah, for sure. But, like, if that's the case and it's such a definitive thing, why are you making things up about it? Why don't you just simply show what the data is and show what actually happened, rather than splicing it together in a way that's misleading?
Funded by taxpayers.
Twitter also deleted the clip of Trump when he called the protesters to go home. Now, in my opinion, how would I deal with this? Like, I think that people that do this should face serious repercussions. I do.
Premise that it will provide impartial reporting, allowed to splice together content in a way that one of its own advisors said materially misled viewers.
Absolutely, without a question. It was designed to mislead viewers.
And we're not even done yet. The footage Panorama showed of the Proud Boys marching towards the Capitol building, seemingly spurred on by Trump's rousing speech. Well, that was actually taken before he'd even addressed the crowd. In fact, the BBC themselves later published a report.
See? It's all about framing. This is what they do. This is what they do.
At odds with Panorama's own timeline.
These are the Proud Boys, another right-wing militia. Seen
It's framing?
a little
Yes.
earlier that morning. Donald Trump will not appear for another hour or so. They're already heading towards the Capitol.
They even timestamped the footage to show that the march began at 10:58 a.m., well before Trump's midday speech.
Right.
The truth, however, raises serious questions about the way in which the BBC decided to portray the events of January the 6th. In fact, the Senate highlights that shortly after the first extract of Trump's speech, the now president actually said,
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
The BBC...
Yeah, it is. And this is the thing, is that January 6th obviously was bad, but I don't view January 6th as some kind of unique evil. Whenever you have all these retards running up and harassing ICE officers and stuff like that, you also have politicians saying that, oh, be peaceful, make your voice heard, etc. January 6th is just another version of that. It is. It was, and the Republicans did it once. The Democrat people do it every single week, multiple times. So that's what happens. The BBC are funded media, by the way. Yeah, I know. I know. Like, I don't think people understand how bad it really is.
The advisor who wrote this report claims Panorama's editing was completely misleading.
Of course.
Trump did not explicitly exhort supporters to go down and fight on Capitol Hill. They even pointed out that a key reason why he didn't face federal charges for incitement to riot. The BBC's editorial guidelines and standards committee member who wrote this memo raised all of these concerns.
Would he get fired?
Among others, with the BBC executive, but they were dismissed, ignored, and even accused of cherry picking. But this...
See, that's the thing, is you can't go against them, because if they do, then they destroy your reputation and your career. That's what they do.
This isn't the first time we've seen the BBC criticised for selective editing. Cast your mind back to 2007, and you might remember the documentary trailer to show Queen Elizabeth storming off in the middle of a fight.
It will look better without. It will look better, less dressy, because the garter robe is.
I shot him in the knee.
later revealed the clips had been reversed. The footage showing the late Queen storming off actually.
Wow.
Being the moment they first
Wow.
entered the room. No seemingly cantankerous comments made during the photo.
So different.
Well, they
Yep.
were just some well-intentioned sarcasm.
Yeah, they were laughing.
The Crown Gate scandal, as it was called at the time, resulted in the resignation of Peter Fincham, the BBC One controller. Now, 18 years later, it appears the broadcaster has not learnt its lesson.
They're going to keep doing it, and the reason why they do it is they think their message is more important than the truth. So they are more focused around making sure that they spread their message.
That has less range than the bow and arrow. I could hit it with the bow and arrow from here.
To them than being able to actually tell the
That
truth or represent things.
the pistol has less range than the bow.
It might be confusing to you because
That's fucking crazy.
That's the reason why they're lying, is that they view the truth as downstream from their agenda and their message. So if the truth is conflicting with what the message is, then the truth is basically reinterpreted or misinterpreted in order to make it reinforce the message. The truth creates the message, or sorry, the message creates the truth does not create the message. That's their value system. That's 99% of all mainstream media, not BBC. Oh, I know. If it was up to me, well, I'll stop myself right there.
States, if BBC journalists are to be allowed to edit video in order to make people say things they never actually said, then what value are the corporation's guidelines? Why should the BBC be trusted?
The guidelines are created in order to control people who they disagree with. Every rule is a weapon.
And where will this all end?
It will never end. It will never end, and that's why you need to have oversight.
Remember, those aren't my words. They're the words of someone who sat on the Editorial Standards Committee.
Yep.
Should Tim Davie, the now Director General, face the same level of accountability as Peter Fincham did in 2007?
Worse. Should be worse.
Well, that remains for the BBC to decide. But if members of its own
And then figuring out inside, look at all the internal communication, figure out the people that were okay with it all the way down the line, fire every single one of them, and tell them that they're lucky it's not worse. That's what I would do.
Editorial Standards Committee have no faith in the broadcaster. You have to ask, should we?
No, you should never. Never. They are absolutely against people. They are working against them 100%. But it does seem like they have issued an apology. This is it. It's happened.
The letter that has been published by the BBC chairman, Samir Shah, it has been published on the Culture, Media and Sport website. And we have it up for you here, where he has written to the chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, wanting to put on record the BBC's position on a number of issues that have been raised in the leak of a letter to the BBC board from Michael Prescott, a former external advisor to the BBC's Editorial
Lying about an
Guidelines and
apology
Standards
too?
Committee.
Yeah, of course.
He also wants to address questions that you asked me in the letter, and he said he wants to
So
make
two BBC people have already resigned over this. Good.
clear that they have taken Mr. Prescott's concerns seriously and considered the points he made carefully. They have met the board to discuss this. He said it is worth stating at the outset that some of the coverage of Mr.
Why it takes so
Prescott's
long for
memo
someone
has
to fact check
implied
it?
that he has
The reason why it takes so long for people to fact check stuff like this is because there's an intentionally created media apparatus that exists for the purpose of misleading you and creating a false reality in order to make you believe something that isn't true. That's the reason why. It's the same reason why when a games journalist brings up an issue with diversity or any DEI stuff, they are immediately met with hate and harassment from people inside of their field, because it's supposed to create a chilling effect inside of the space where nobody is allowed to talk about these topics. That's the reason why it happens. Is that you have a propaganda apparatus that is voluntarily opted into, and for the people who don't opt into it, they are pushed out of the apparatus. So that's the reason why it happens.
covered a list of stories and issues that the BBC have sought to bury. That interpretation
It's again what I
is
said before about like
simply
the
not
message
true.
being more important than
The
the
issues
truth.
raised by Mr. Prescott are precisely the issues that have been considered by the EGSC and the board. The EGSC is the senior forum in which we scrutinise the output when concerns have been raised from either internal or external sources. And we
They're
would
quick to arrest their own citizens for offensive speech, but they won't take any action on big media corporations outputting fake news. Yep. I find that very interesting.
determine what action needs to be taken. Put simply, the committee's job is to examine the bad news, not the good news. Sometimes mistakes are one-offs, others may point to underlying problems. The job is never complete. It is only by identifying and highlighting these issues and implementing changes the BBC demonstrates its commitment to continuous
you never trust these people.
improvement. Now, he then says another view that is gained currently in the coverage that the BBC has done nothing to tackle these problems. This is simply not true, he says.
Oh, that's true. They have done things to tackle them. They've tried to suppress them as much as possible. By tackling them, you mean taking the problem and then minimizing it as much as possible so people can't see it. Yes, true.
Over the 3 years that
Accurate.
Mr. Prescott was an advisor, he says the BBC has published corrections where they've got things wrong. They've changed editorial guidance to make the BBC's position clearer on issues and made changes to leadership where the problems point to underlying issues and carried out formal
Yeah, this building does suck. This building looks like somebody who's just really bad at playing Tetris. That's it. Looks so bad.
During the 3 years Mr. Prescott was an advisor to the committee, the BBC produced thousands of hours of outstanding journalism on television, radio, online, nationally, regionally and internationally. This does not diminish the importance the BBC board places on addressing the issues that Mr. Prescott has raised.
Yeah, they're
but
lying.
it is also important that a sense of perspective is maintained.
Yeah, there's the lies that we know about and there's the lies that we don't know about.
So
Yes.
just to point out to you that what we are reading out to you now is the BBC chair, Samir Shah. This is the letter that I have right now from him that we have just seen in the past minute or so to the chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, and also to remind the BBC Director General Tim Davey and CEO of News Deborah Clark both resigned on Sunday after a leaked memo that criticised a 2024 Panorama programme made by an outside production company about the US president, where they edited together 2 parts of a speech that...
See, I believe that they care about this kind of stuff whenever you start seeing people getting prosecuted for election interference. That's whenever I'll be like, okay, all right, now they're taking it seriously. Until I see Old Testament answers, everything is a lie.
The president made so that it appears
Was the
that
account?
he
Yeah.
secretly
The
encouraged
smoke was
the
fired?
Capitol
Yeah.
Hill riot back in January 2020.
America should start doing that first. I agree. I totally agree with you.
Other things have been criticised in that memo as well. But here is the reaction that we have been getting now from someone that I am bringing to you. It's long. I'll take you through the details and bring you the
who
key
cares?
lines
It's just bullshit.
as I see them.
This is just literally them talking. This is so fucking boring. I can't watch this anymore. But yeah, there we go. We've seen it. This is obviously what happened. And now they are apologizing. Big fucking surprise.
There are some
Is there
pretty
any more of this?
strong
Yeah, this is the whole thing.
Of some pretty senior named individuals throughout this.
Yeah.
We're working through this in real time, Katie, but you know, there's some quite kind of strong views as to how things went wrong from the chairman's perspective.
Well, they went wrong because you have people with biases that are trying to put them into the media. That's the reason why. It's obviously why. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Duh.
for them to have this edit.
Rebels just lost their January 6th argument, I guess. They never had one. And January 6th was really bad, but it's obvious that if anybody has been paying attention for the last year, the overwhelming majority of collective political unrest has been by left-wing people. This has been at the same time as a ton of extra violence, people burning up Teslas, people destroying property, people attacking ICE agents, everything like this. And they're the ones who basically have ownership over this problem. Now, obviously, like, there have been right-wing bad actors too, but if you're talking about collective violence and collective problems, you have BS, you have the Tesla burnings, and now you're having the ICE crash outs, and these are all left-wing things. When Elon Musk went and called Donald Trump, or implied that he was a pedo in the Epstein files, not a single Republican went out and started burning random Teslas and destroying them at dealerships. This is a Democrat problem. And the reason why it is a Democrat problem is because they have convinced themselves that they are fighting against Nazis. They've convinced themselves they are fighting against, fascism, and this is some kind of existential threat that basically the ends justify the means. Anything bad that they do is totally justified because it serves the greater goal of getting rid of something that they view as problem. Yes, the Democrat. This is I think it is a unique Democrat problem. Now, when a Republican does something bad, here's the big difference, right? It's not that Republicans don't do anything bad, but when a Republican does something bad, everybody generally says, oh, okay, that's really bad. But the problem is that Democrats look to try to, oh, it's not that big of a deal, it doesn't matter that much, who cares? And I think that has radicalized a lot of people. I'll view that, and we can contrast this now with, do you remember whenever they had all those text message leaks and it was all those young Republican people talking about how much they like Hitler? And nobody really cared about that anymore. And the reason why, it's because left-wing people have established a standard, and now right-wing people are living up to it. So you have all these conservatives that are saying this crazy stuff, and there's never a point of moral authority that, any liberal can have when you're the one justifying, shutting down a college, or you're the one justifying being violent to an officer, or you're the one justifying, destroying property, a car, something like that. They all got blacklisted. Yes, but I understand that structurally, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what because left-wing people don't purity test themselves. And if you allow other people to create the optics for you, all you're doing is you're allowing your enemy to define how you lose. And basically, you can see how they had no problem voting for Jay Jones, right? This is a guy that fantasized about killing, his political opponent's children. Well, if you're going to vote for that person and you're not going to have people withdraw their nominations from them, well then, I don't want to hear from you about how bad it is that somebody said something bad in a group chat. You've just lost all of your right to be able to be any sort of moral authority on this topic, period. It's total bullshit.
Particular. I mean, the
That's
thing
what I
that
think.
has enraged people so much over the last few days is whether there is any justification for an edit where you take a speech where one section was the start of the speech and it was sort of sandwiched together with something that was from 15 minutes later in the speech. I mean, with any sort of newsroom, few would kind of thought that
It's disgraceful, and I think that again, it's election interference. It's disgusting. You shouldn't be doing this, right? It's definitely not just a Democrat, probably more of a lapse of morals with society and people. I'm not arguing that it's not mostly left-wing, but I don't think it's specifically that. I think that right-wing, I think that in the future it will also be right-wing. I think this is a pendulum, and right now there's a lot of left-wing political violence because they feel like they're justified to do it. I don't think that they have a monopoly on that, categorically by the nature of them left-wing people. I don't think that at all. But what I do think is that a lot of left-wing people do justify that type of behavior. And so you're right. And it will always swing. Yes, it will swing and it will change again.
You know me, I keep my promises. So we recently reacted to one of the videos by Simon Whistler where he was discussing and talking about myths about medieval weapons and armor, and the video was terrible, this one here, full of misinformation, and it was a mess. But maybe this other video is gonna be good. I don't know, we'll check it out because I promised you that I would have reviewed it, so let's have a look. And without further ado, 5 shocking things about knights. Let's see if this is Maybe this one is good.
Ask the average person what a knight was, and chances are you'll get a response with all the cliches: armor, chivalry, serving a lord, and some measure of tolerance. But what if we told you that knights were also brutal soldiers trained from childhood to kill, and some spent as much time violently feuding with one another as they did actually? Well, all of the above is true, at least to some extent. As always, the reality of history is far more complicated than media, and what a knight was and how that knight behaved varied greatly depending on the era of medieval period that we're talking about. So,
and post-medieval, in fact. If you look at the French gendarmes, which are already kind of early modern, but they are basically knights in full plate armor. They look awesome, by the way. I have a dedicated video.
So, what was a real knight? Were they all really bound by codes of chivalry? Were they truly committed to fighting for truth and justice? Established around the end of the 9th century, beginning of the 10th, it became customary for the son of a knight to train, be anointed a knight himself, and eventually enter into a term of service with a lord, otherwise known as becoming that lord's vassal.
Yeah, so page, squire, knight.
A newly anointed knight, particularly a skillful one, also had a chance of being given a fief by a lord looking to secure service, a fief being a plot of land he was allowed to work in. But what tends to get overlooked is that the knight's value originally came from being a neat military unit. Knights were simply heavy cavalrymen, with the term knight itself being nothing more than a military denotion. This would change as the period progressed, but we'll get into that later. For now, keep in mind that it was the most professional, fiercest knights who were sought out by lords, meaning that relentless training is a necessity. The son of a knight was expected to train from the age of 7 through to the age of 21, and you can bet that elite medieval military standards were in place. At age 7, the boy was sent off to the lord of the land's household, given the title of page, and immediately thrust into a heavy fitness regime. It wasn't all physical though, with the page also expected to excel in basic academic studies, including the code of chivalry. Between academics and fitness, a page...
Well, chivalry is... I'm sure I'm not going to go too much, but chivalry is often misunderstood, and it is something that it does vary region to region, nation to nation, and it's in fact not as codified as you would imagine. But I do have a video dedicated to knighthood and chivalry. I'm sure it's covered.
Was also sent off to participate in hunting outings with battles. Pages then assigned to an established knight as a servant, taking over duties such as cleaning armor, caring for horses, and handling baggage. It was
holding the helmet. That's another thing, and then give it to the knight.
It wasn't uncommon for a page to even be taken on knightly expeditions, meaning that the boy, not having hit puberty, was likely to come face to face with violence and even death. Older.
Yes, very common in classical antiquity as well, depending on which country. Sparta being an example of that.
Older pages would start receiving training with weapons, get general tutelage on combat and warfare, and eventually graduate from page to squire at the age of 14. A new squire was, first and foremost, given his own sword and armor in a religious ceremony, after which the real training was stopped, namely the notorious 7 points of agilities. The 7 agilities were a physical training regime designed to truly chisel a boy into a versatile athlete, involving the mastering of activities like fencing, wrestling, long jumping, bow shooting, climbing, swimming, riding, and even dancing.
Isn't it? So far, so good, I'll have to say. The previous video was pretty bad. This video, much better. So, as we always say when it comes to Simon Whistler, I'm literally praising his script writer or attacking his script writer. At the end of the day, he just reads the script.
This doesn't sound overwhelming enough to be done while wearing full armor. During all of this, the squire would also have to be desensitized to violence in accordance with his future. As such, squires, still just teenagers, were sometimes required to systematically slaughter livestock with a sword, most commonly pigs. The gruesome task familiarized the boy with the sounds of screaming, the sight of gore, and the smell of fresh-built blood. When a squire turned 21 and was eligible to be knighted, he could, depending on his performance, enter into the service. The goal always was to be awarded a fief, but only a few of the squires ever caught the attention of particularly wealthy lords. Knighting usually happened on Easter and Christmas. In In an elaborate ceremony, the squires swore an oath to a lord who would in turn touch a sword to each of the squires' shoulders.
Okay, well, so I kind of hate these 3D clips or B-rolls that are once again downloaded from either Storyblocks on one of those. So I'm not a huge fan of those, not a huge fan of these. But in general, I have to say, re-employ this scriptwriter again, because while a little superficial, information
The fighters may be a bit surprising. Weren't knights brave, courteous, justice and treated ladies with respect? Turns out, believed, and whether it's the age of chivalry ever really existed is a highly speculative topic. Our modern perception of knights comes predominantly from the more death of Arthur, which worship the dignified king.
Based on a historical in the Wales, other purport, other areas. But in general, it's possible that King Arthur was real, but a lot of course, if we're talking about the High Middle Ages, there isn't a lot of data to support that, so if you will. But it's an interesting topic and one that I would love to go into a deep dive. If you're interested in that, I could produce that video.
Perhaps best to say that the death of Arthur was as This isn't to say there wasn't a code of chivalry. Yeah, there certainly was. Yeah. In that regard, however, it's important to understand the intention of the code and appreciate that it changed dramatically throughout the period.
Is correctly, the intention, generally speaking, is still to serve your lord, your masters, and your betters. To excel in combat and to be controlled by the aristocracy. Also, even in its least codified versions, there still was a very strong connection between a knight and the expectations of a Christianity. So those absolutely are there and would be expected of a knight. Now, whether or not every knight followed those in the action, yeah, of course, that becomes case by case.
Going way, the words chivalry and cavalry are the very close.
God damn it!
From the old French term chevalier, which roughly translates to horse. The earliest true knights, named for the French King Charlemagne between 768 and 774, were nothing more than the new cavalry. Charlemagne rewarded his fiercest land as a means to secure their loyalty, and in doing so, a new warrior class was created, destined to become wealthy and influential in their own right. And the key thing is that the elite cavalrymen were given a code of conduct to observe, which in the early days simply involved following orders and performing professionally.
Absolutely, yeah. 100%.
But as the reverence and prestige heaped upon cavalrymen grew, so the code of cavalry also evolved, soon including additions like how to behave towards lower-ranking soldiers. Time passed, and the warrior class of knights grew ever wealthier and more influential. The pages and the squires we were just talking about were taught how to act in the presence of a lord and other nobles, as well as how to treat noble ladies and lower social classes.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, even though initially it started as... So it's interesting because in the medieval period, when you look at Norman knights, it is basically a efficient and wealthy soldier. As we go further into the Middle Ages, it becomes the lowest rung of nobility. But then again, the very origin of the medieval knight is rooted in the upper class. When you look at the Roman equites, which was an aristocratic landowner class that was distinguished by regular people. So it kind of has a bit of a... The beginning has to do with aristocracy, then depending on the context, it becomes now is more like
I don't understand.
Semi-professional soldier, or in general a wealthy soldier that can afford and maintain a horse, but then it sort of comes back to its initial origins when it comes to the Roman aspect, and then it becomes even more so, going upwards into the lower rung of aristocracy, as I was saying. Fascinating.
Historian Leon Gautier, in his 1884 book Le Chevalerie, summed up the chivalry with key points, including: thou shalt defend the church and believe all that teachers. Thou shalt respect the weak and defend them. Thou shalt not recoil before thine enemy. Thou shalt never lie and always be true to thine word. Thou shalt be generous. Thou shalt be the champion of the right and good.
So as I was saying, strong connected to Christianity. So as long as there is Christianity law, and of course there is, because all these knights are Christian, then expect that they would have, even if it's not written down or codified, as it will be later, more, the expectation was still there to be a good Christian. And once again, will some be good Christians? No, they will shoot you in the eye with a crossbow or cut your throat. But then again, I mean, that's kind of beyond the point. We're discussing whether or not an expectation societally was there. And I would say it was, even when, up to a certain extent, even when it wasn't written down or codified, simply because of the strong connection between the chivalric orders and the Christian church.
Now, to be clear, no such list ever existed in the medieval period. Gautier took information from multiple medieval and Renaissance texts and boiled them down into what he felt were the key chivalric aspirations. More to the point, and much more controversially, it's also very debatable as to whether knights paid any attention to these teachings at all.
Or, I think, yeah, it's a case by case. There is no reason to believe that some wouldn't, but there is also no reason to believe that all did. I think that is the most logical conclusion that anyone can have.
At least as to whether they observed the code of chivalry, when not in the presence of nobles that could hold them accountable for their behaviour. The idea that there was ever an age of chivalry at all, generally said to be the 11th and 12th centuries, has also been called into question, notably by late 1700s Swiss historian and economist Jean-Charles Léonard de Sismondi. Sismondi argued that the age of chivalry exists only due to the romanticized writings of the Renaissance era, saying, the more closely we look into history, the more clearly shall we perceive that the system of chivalry is an invention almost entirely poetical. It is impossible to distinguish the countries in which it is said to have prevailed. It is always represented as distant from us both in time and place, and whilst the contemporary historians give us a clear, detailed and complete account of the vices of the court and the great, of the ferocity or corruption of the nobles, and of the civility of the people, we are astonished to find the poets, after a long lapse of time, adorning the very same ages with the most splendid fictions of grace, virtue and loyalty.
Still, it doesn't mean that, again, it's case by case. I'm just going to continue hammering down on that point. It is absolutely case by case. I want to see if he's going to address, so far, I want to see if he addresses the role that men-at-arms play in the fighting in the manner of the knight, because that is something that is, whenever you speak about knights, you should underline, because it is one of the most misunderstood points when it comes to identifying and decoding medieval iconography involving the mounted nobility class. But if he doesn't, I'm not saying that he has to, but if he doesn't, I will.
You're probably familiar with the legendary tournaments that were regularly held throughout much, as is often depicted in movies, highly popular, potentially very lucrative spectator sports that pitted knight against knight. The events included free-for-all battles where the last knight standing won, or most famously, the jousting duels that saw men flung from their horses. Losing knights were
saw men flung from their horses. I'm going to be a little pedantic on this one, since so far I've been singing his praises for once. I mean, usually I'm very critical, but as you see, I'm fair. So if the video is good, I'll say it. The idea of knights being flung off their horses, so yeah, they hit each other and one or two falls, it's a misunderstanding of how jousting rules in the medieval period worked, in the sense that in reality, it did happen sometimes, but it was not what you were trying to do to score points. In fact, it would be on the rarest...
They wanted to break your lance.
...secure on their horses, as they should be. Your objective as a jouster is to break your lance on your opponent. That's
yeah, actually, if you were knocked from your horse, you were a bad jouster.
Hit them so hard that they fall off the horse. It can happen, absolutely. But when you look at the actual jousting reports, even the accidents, and I have a dedicated video on this, then you notice that in fact, a lot of it is occasionally mentioned that a knight will fall, but it's usually due to the injury rather than he was catapulted out of the horse. And a lot of the times instead what happens is that you get a splinter, or maybe there is a failure in the armor. Sometimes it happens more often than not with bever salad combinations rather than a frog mouth, for instance, because of course that's more robust. But that was just something I wanted to underline, because I think we have been given, due to the representation of jousting, not only in the movies, but also sort of medieval inspired, and then we see this.
Because I need the experience more than I need the money.
goal of the joust. The goal is to break your lance, and that gives you points. That's it.
Required to give up their horse to the winner. Hence, adding insult to injury, they also had to pay a ransom to the winner for sparing their life. As you can imagine,
Yeah, not during the joust though. That's during the earlier types of tournaments, which were basically a free-for-all, like you said. The earlier types, yep, you can win, get the guy, pay ransom. They looked more like battles, really. In the joust, that's not the case. Now, there are specific civic, in fact, legal types of jousts when it's a duel. Then the situation can get really bad. Like, they can be first blood, but sometimes they can actually kill each other. Those are kind of on the rarer end, but they are found in the sources.
violent feuds were a common highlight of these events, and getting killed by a rival, either over the course of the tourney or as an act of revenge, was fairly common.
No, it wasn't fairly common, but it did happen. But it was not fairly common. Just actually look at the reports at that point. I think in this case, your scriptwriter found the information that it did happen. There are a couple of situations where we have the names of someone who did it. Which, by the way, was rather fun, so it wasn't really risky to do it for personal revenge. But regardless, then at that point we'll have to see who's your friend, right, in the upper echelon of society, and whether or not you can get away with it. Some didn't. Some actually got punished for it. But regardless, it's not common. I think what you're right, the scriptwriter in this case, he saw that that's something that happened and just added it was fairly common. It was not common. To say that it's fairly common, you need to review the data.
Petty violence that characterised later tourneys wasn't, of course, the original intent. The sport had originally been introduced in the mid-1100s as a way for knights to demonstrate their skills to prospective lords and to keep fighting wits sharp for the ongoing crusades.
To train. The very original reason is to keep them busy and to train. Keep them busy because you have a military class that is bored is always a problem, but also to make sure that they are fully trained in the case of a war.
But the social role of knights was already changing, and as the knight and nobility classes became increasingly intertwined, trivial infighting became ever more frequent. As the feud sometimes spilled over from the tourneys in the outside world, resulting in clashing in fatal duels, and sometimes entire regions being provoked into riots. In extreme cases, a feud could even escalate into a full-scale conflict, erupting in knights and nobles, and burning knights' property. Was to confirm stance against tourneys and calling the events inventions of the devil that serve only to lure young men into fighting one another as opposed to the common foreign enemy of the Muslims. The clergy went so far as to forbid those tourneys from being buried on holy ground, which was a pretty extreme action at that time.
Yeah, true. It's not the first time, of course, that the church was involved. In the previous video, he got the papal bull wrong, and I corrected him. But in this case, it's correct. So the church tried, I should say, to ban them, but just like the church failed when they banned crossbows and nobody cared. Well, there are a couple of countries that did it, but the majority didn't care. They still fielded crossbowmen and archers, because we remember the papal bull says crossbowmen and archers are hateful to God and shouldn't be used against Catholics and Christians. And the reason why there is a distinction, by the way, is because there were other non-Catholics, like the Cathars, for instance, although those get annihilated during the crusade, whatever. There were other types of Christians, there weren't only Catholics, so they specified. Even then, nobody cared, and so when it comes to this, nobody cared.
King Henry II, leading between the 1154 and 1189, was finally pressured into banning the defence. Those decisions didn't last long.
It's good that he showed one of those who did.
With his son Richard the Lion soon lifting the ban in 1194. From that point on, tourneys were strictly regulated, though it remained popular through the Crusades until being halted for good in the 1620s.
They shouldn't have. I love tourneys. I'm glad that you were bringing them back with modern full jousters. I freaking love it.
Speaking of the Crusades, it's often suggested Pope Urban II launched the campaigns partially as a way to distract nobles and knights from fighting one another. Infighting had been rampant even before the tourneys, and the church intended that knights and nobles put aside petty feuds and join forces against the Muslims.
Yeah, sure. So he's correct with the idea of the church considering stop in fight between Christians. We've got the Muslim menace to take care of. That's absolutely correct and supported by the sources. I do not believe, however, I have heard people say that, but I don't believe that the reason why the Pope Urban II called the crusade was, because I got to distract the knights so they're going to kill each other. No, there are too many other economic, social, and political reasons, as not to mention, to call it a crusade, and I my interpretation, but this is debated. So I'm not correcting in this case, I'm just sharing my opinion. I personally stand with people who say this could have been seen as a little bonus to it, but it definitely wasn't the main reason, or the only reason, even worse. Not that he said that, but it wouldn't be the main reason as to why the Crusades happened.
Urban II said, hence it is that you murder one another, that you wage war, and that frequently you perish by mutual wounds. Let therefore hatred depart from among you. Let your quarrels end, let wars cease, and let all dissensions and controversies slumber. Enter upon the road to the holy sepulchre, wrest that land from the wicked race, and subject it to yourselves. As the lengthy age of Crusades arrived, taking place between 1099 and 1291, the clergy took the opportunity to try and bring order to the class of knights, attempt to reform it into something closely tied to religion. This gave...
Wait. I liked that picture, so I didn't want to interrupt him, but his editor actually put up some very good iconography. I appreciate that. Look at these curved, slightly, well, actually quite curved Peter shields here. Fascinating design. Sometimes they also have a different top. I kind of spend more time than I care to admit. There we go. See, the one that goes up like this. This one here, it's kind of uncommon in iconography, but I found at least...
God damn it!
Instead of being like this, that I love whenever it's done in iconography. I hadn't found this when I did my research, so thank you for that. I'm gonna screenshot this. This is my favorite shield. Not only the Heater shield, but the one that has specifically this little point at the top. And it's a little rare, if you will, so I appreciate whenever I find it. Also, this is one of the early types of firearms, if you look at this. These kind of single shot hand cannons, if you will, and also a lot of brigand beams.
And this gave the now popular cliché knights saw himself as acting in accordance with the word of God.
It's not a cliché though. I think a lot of knights believe that, truly. Now, whether or not that would connect with your idea modernly of what a good Christian is, that's an item of debate in of itself. But I don't think it's a cliché. I think a lot of these knights were Christian. They're actually Christian. They believe that they were called by God. Particularly when, the freaking Pope tells you that. I think a lot of people will believe it. I do not believe it's a cliché. I think they were very Christian. Absolutely they were.
Chivalric orders were born all directly into the church, and the code of chivalry became strongly associated with Christianity. Some of the first chivalric orders included the Knights of Spilitus, the Teutonic Knights, and the now Holy Order of Knights Templars.
With all knights only work 40 days a week. Okay, so I have to say, pretty good video. Knights coexisted with guns and possibly invented the term bulletproof. Alright, so I'm gonna skip chapter 4 and I wanna see chapter 5 because I'm more interested in this one. He could get this one horribly wrong, or this could be really good. So let's have a look.
Europe with gunpowder arsenals. This is true. They did indeed mostly carry armored knights on battlefields.
No, they didn't. They didn't. I'm sorry that they're right. No, but I'll let him continue. It's just that it didn't. Armor didn't disappear because firearms were invented.
It was much more gradual shift than most assume, with the complicated transition, allowing armored knights and firearms to exist in the same era. There is, in fact, even popular speculation that knights gave birth to the term bulletproof. The remaining military knights were being peppered by bullets for the first time, and after enjoying centuries of semi-protection from arrows and crossbow bolts, they now had to deal with the reality that bullets were far more dangerous than either. So, naturally, knights began to seek out reliable blacksmiths who could make armor strong enough to withstand musket balls, and believe medieval armor could indeed resist early firearms.
Good, okay, good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that he specified, because he was saying bullets, but technically they are arquebus bolts, but he did say that, so fantastic. I'm glad I waited. And also he's right, yeah, the top quality armor was absolutely able or capable to stop arquebus fire.
At least some of the time. It's said that as proof to their clients that their armor could stop a bullet, the blacksmith would fire a shot into the armor, thus providing proof. This ritual supposedly became so common that armor on display today showing distinctive dimples is pointed at as a leftover from a blacksmith firing a bulletproof shot into the chest plate.
Either that or it happened during a battle. This was commonly done in Japan as well. Particularly, of course, during the Sengoku era, after the production of matchlock type arquebus.
Some historians dispute the bulletproof story, but either way, the real point is that armored knights and fighting knights coexist.
See that image? This is a double weight arquebus. The one that needs to be, I actually talked about it on my previous video. I'm glad I found an image of it. This is exactly what I was referring to when I told you that there was a double weight arquebus that needed to be placed on and held onto a stand, and this is called a musket. And I know it's not what you usually imagine when you use the word musket, but this is the first type of musket.
So if it wasn't gunpowder that officially made knights obsolete, what was it that transitioned the world from medieval warfare into the next era? Well, as we've already alluded to, by the time firearms became common, traditional warrior knights already existed. The term knight had become more an indication of social standing over the course of the 12th century, referring to a noble or landholder rather than a military unit. To try and make sense of these social changes, a distinction began to be drawn between military gregari, a non-military cavalryman, and milits nobiles, true knights.
Okay, so the last part, no. So this distinction between, good video though, good video, but the distinction between non-knighted, not titled mounted warrior forces and knights is absolutely present during the entirety of the Middle Ages. And every time you look at a piece of iconography and you see, oh, those are knights in plate armor with their helmet and the lance, maybe they're knights, maybe they're not. They might very well be men-at-arms. And there is a misconception that comes from video games that a man-at-arm is always just an infantry soldier. It's not the case. A man-at-arm can well be absolutely a billman. He could be, whatever the heck, a halberdier, whatever it is, a spearman. But it could also very well be a man-at-arms who fights in the manner of the knight. And when one of those is there and they have the budget, then maybe they're either veterans or they just come from a wealthy family, they're not knighted. They don't have the title, but they look identical to knights when you look at iconography. And in fact, oftentimes, unless you have specific indications that tell you this is Sir whatever the heck, and so we know that the person is a special, right, like mounted nobility, they might as well be men-at-arms, and it would be very difficult to discern the two. So the distinction, the coexistence of mounted nobility and men-at-arms who are not titled, but they fight and look just like them, is always been a thing during the Middle Ages. And oftentimes, this is why knights, particularly when they are titled, higher titles, like a count or a duke or a prince, you can tell that they get their armor gilded, gems, decorations, incredible, high quality, because otherwise they would be indistinguishable from men-at-arms and the other men. And so they do that. So that's one thing, the quality of the armor that they wear, and of course, heraldry exists precisely to distinguish them from otherwise men-at-arms that would look identical to them. Anyways, good video. Appreciate it. We'll see the next one. I guess it's a bit of a dice roll, isn't it? Anyways, thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much. Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and we are back with the Ditch Guy. Now, I've already made a video where I actually disagreed with some of his points, particularly when we were discussing Roman Petrino, and some of you actually got really mad for some reason. Some people think that the word disagree is an insult for some reasons. No, I actually liked the guy a lot. He sounds very proficient, he doesn't push politics, he's very good at what he does. It's just that the part where about the Studo, I completely disagree. A couple of his fanboys in the comments got really mad at me, and so I'm gonna make a dedicated video where I will defend, because I was right. I double check, triple check the sources. I was absolutely right. But that's not what we're doing here today. What I was told by some people that really like him is that he's really good, specifically when talking about ancient Sparta. And so I'm fascinated by the topic, and I'm really looking forward to what this video is, because once again, I liked him a lot. And if Sparta, rather than Rome, is his field of expertise and where he shines the most, well, I think that that's then what I want to watch. So let's check it out. Let's go.
Were the Spartans better than and if they were both really sort of filled with pent-up desire, that they would have more vigorous sex and that their children would be more energetic and stronger. They were not the best warriors of anything, but they were briefly a little bit better than other groups.
Okay, let's go. Bring in the facts.
So hello everyone, my name is Wilken Arendijk. I'm an ancient historian at Lincoln College, Oxford. I specialize in Greek warfare and ancient Sparta, and I'm here to answer the most frequently Googled questions about the Spartans. Alright, first question.
It was the worst possible image to represent the Spartans, but then again, of course, it's not on him, it's on the editor.
When did the Spartans live? It's a trick question. They still live now. Sparta has been refounded. It exists. But actually, when we're talking about ancient Sparta, it first emerged as a settlement around the 10th century BC. But when we're talking about historical Spartans, it's probably between the 6th and 3rd century that they are the most significant. So between about 600 and 200 BC.
So I am actually making and I've been producing a video on the origins of the Greeks, where we're going to go really, really ancient. Just wanted to mention it because it's going to happen soon.
Next question. Were the Spartans Greek?
Of course.
Yes. No two ways about it. Some people like to argue that they were something weird to the other Greeks, that some Greeks talked about them as if they were almost foreigners or barbarians, and the Spartans themselves were quite sort of fearful of foreigners and tried to keep them out. But at the same time, I mean, in every sense, the Spartans are part of the Dorian Greek dialect group. They have Greek customs, they worship Greek gods.
Yeah, they're just city-states. So of course, each city-state is going to be independent and have its own legislations, its own laws, its own culture. But isn't it the same even today? I mean, imagine for a second that we took the United States of America and for a moment pretend that they're not united. Someone from California, someone from New York, Texas, Alabama, Florida, North freaking Dakota, monumentally different. They all speak English, but the culture, the history, the way they think in general, when it comes to politics and variety of even the accent, if you see where I'm going. But they're all still Americans. Likewise, they're all still Greek.
Wipe that smirk off your face. Good morning, my ass. Buy something, then it might be a good morning.
Their culture and their language and everything else. So yes, the Spartans were Greek. Next question. Were the Spartans a professional army?
Okay, so I've been wrong in the past, and I
Let's
did
make a pact.
this, but I was
Don't
wrong.
just stand there with your thumb up your ass. Get the job done.
Because even when I said professional soldiers, I shouldn't have used the term professional, because when you say professional in this period, then you're specifically comparing them to the Romans. And when you do that, then no, they were not professional. Let's see how the expert will actually do a much better job than me, and see how he says it, so that in a way he can debunk me as well. Because I've repeated this, and it's technically wrong.
No. Despite what you may have heard, it's often said that the Spartans were the only professional soldiers in Greece, and that their army was the only professional army, that this makes them